so they can all see us. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. My name is D'Angelo Murillo, and thank you again for showing up during this wonderful Saturday evening where we are actually raising money for a great cause called the ACLU. They do a lot of wonderful things to preserve rights, to fight for rights that we all should have, and to be able to help migrants become actual citizens and everything like that. It's all everything good stuff. So we are here today to raise $200. You can do so by under the stream. You should be able to see that there is a donate button, and then you should be able to donate whatever you'd like to, sort of to it. And there are different amounts that will impact the game. If you also look below, you can also see that there are different options. I can also put them in chat really quick. I think it's this one, and yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can actually do to help the game, or hurt the homies as well, to be able to make their lives harder and everything. So speaking of the homies, we're gonna go ahead and go around the room to have everyone introduce themselves. So one thing to note, if you've never played with me before or been on my channel, I do this little rule where when you introduce yourself, you have to do it with your full chest, full bravado. You got to talk about how wonderful you are, because you're all wonderful. And if you try to be like, ooh, woo, I'm nobody or anything like that, I'm going to give you extra hunger for tonight. If you actually do good, then I'll give you a free reroll of your choice, for this evening. So let's go ahead and go around the room, and we're going to start with Becca.
Yes. Hello, I am Becca Godsey. You can find me there on Twitter. And of course, because I'm inconsistent with my branding, I'm Caustic Phoenix everywhere else. So good luck finding me. But you can also find me on Twitch where I stream under Caustic Phoenix. And I am also the DM, co-DM of D20 Deathmatch. So if you love D&D meets PvP, come join us. Though I do have a little announcement. We're trying out a new TTRPG for season 5. So I hope you come and check us out there. And the nice thing is, in between, before we kick off season 5, we're running 24/7 over on Twitch. So you can just catch any old episode to see, like, hey, do I like this thing or not? So hope to see you over there.
That's
Is that
amazing.
good? Did I
It's
do it?
it's
Like
it's wonderful.
energy,
Yeah,
pizzazz?
reroll,
Okay.
good. Yeah, there you go, perfect. And
Lots
then
of pizzazz.
exactly going over to a homie that I've had for a long time that's also in Arizona and everything. Ceremony.
Yeah. What's up, guys? My name's Sarah. Tonight it will be Eva, and I guess you know what cosplay is. It's like tabletop without the dice, just for an extended period of time,
Yes.
and that's what I do. I do a lot of X-Men. I do a lot of obscure characters. I like bringing to light the ones that skitter in the darkness that we don't see and we don't always recognize. So the best thing about storytelling in this way is that I get to do that on a more microcosm. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight. This will be my first time playing. If you would like to see said costumes that I make, you can follow me at Ceremony Cosplay on all of the various socials. And if you message me on any one of those and say, "Hi, Eva," I will send you something.
Oh, that's so
Ooh.
cool. Oh my gosh. And then perfect. Last but not least, Vin.
Hi guys, I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on Twitter. I'm a voice actor and I'm a tabletop performer, so this is what we're doing tonight.
That's amazing. I've waited so long to play VTM with you, Vin. I am so excited. We're here, so should be so good. So we did have a fourth member, which was Harley Kane, a wonderful, amazing person. I performed with them before, and they're incredible. Unfortunately, for personal reasons, they weren't able to make it tonight. So please still follow them. The links in the chat and everything like that. And yeah, they're incredible in every single way. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. So tonight we're going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade. This specifically is going to focus on a group of anarchs. Not just any anarchs, but they are actually the assistants to the Baron. Now, some of them are actually the personal assistant, and others are enforcers or a seer, sort of for them and all that. They all have a vested interest to help, serve the Baron, serve this new territory that they are in within Arizona, where all of our stories sort of take place for here. So to set the stage, about a week ago, there was an event called an Elysium, where it is a neutral sort of party that all vampires can come to, and no one's allowed to get killed. No vampire powers are allowed. Everyone from the lowest sort of like kindred fledgling to like the highest, prince and baron can attend, and they can, just have a chill time. And this event specifically was set up to be able to celebrate the non-aggression pact between the Anarchs and the Camarilla, which are usually bitter, hated rivals between each other. But now in this Arizona territory, they've made peace and they want to find a mutual sort of beneficial sort of agreement. And lo and behold, in this night of like successful negotiations, there was a raid by the Special Affairs Division, this secret branch of the government that hunts supernatural creatures, whether they be mages or vampires or werewolves or anything that threatens humanity in the shadows of darkness. So in this Elysium, this night of like entertainment and wonder became just nightmares essentially, as everyone ran for their lives and everyone scattered to the winds to be able to hide out in safe houses. So that was a week ago, and that's probably weighing on all of your characters' sort of minds at this point, as you guys reside in one of the lower tier safe houses that you guys have established for the Anarchs, which is in a place called Metro Center Mall. Now, in this mall, at one point it was in the 80s, very popular, everyone loved it, and now it's a shade of its former self as it lies vulnerable to deconstruction efforts to build it into like something else and all that sort of stuff. But you guys reside in like the very basement, and lockers and like storage compartments and everything, to be able to rest for the evening, as you've spent every evening thus far searching to the bitter end to find the Baron and find any lead on where they're at, because they've just been missing for so long. And in this absence, there has been a lot of conflict within your sort of faction and everything. So as you hid the car, came into this Metro Center Mall, found yourselves into like this basement and rested, this is where you kind of are now. So within these like makeshift sort of places to rest and hide away, let's go ahead and have you guys one by one introduce your characters into like physical descriptions, clan stuff and everything, whatever you want to provide information to. And we're going to start opposite order, going with Hermes.
Cool. All right, so Hermes is a Ravnos. They're about average height, tries to be unassuming. Go ahead and give him like mocha, caramel skin, might as well locks because we're playing a one shot. They do have the fun merit remarkable feature, and that's just going to be some two-tone eyes, heterochromia, like one sort of tan, the other one a piercing bright blue. But other than that, plain clothes, not frivolous or like super garish, casual person.
Perfect. Okay, good. And then like a bit away from them, stuffed in sort of a standing sort of locker, is Eva. So what does Eva look like?
Eva's typically dressed to the nines. I mean, they are in a mall after all, or the ghost of one.
Yeah.
She's all tatted up. She loves black. It makes it easy to do laundry and hides blood stains. She is obviously renowned in her own way with her podcast. So she is social media ready. So the phone is always at hand, always charged. And even if she's down for the count for the day, she's got her automatic updates clicking in.
Going in, yeah.
Yeah.
You all get interrupted in your sleep as Eva's phone just explodes during the day with like retweets and like DMs and all that kind of stuff, and you just gotta put it on silent. And then Ivana.
Yes, banging on the locker just to like freaking tweeting more, over next door.
Yeah.
Doesn't help me sleep soundly, but yes, Ivana Dorantes Rangel is a Ventru, tall in stature. And originally when I was thinking tall, I was thinking like, 5'6", because I'm 5'2", and that's tall. But perhaps we'll go even more imposing. That might be tall for other
I'm
people.
5'6", that's tall.
I consider that very tall. I would have to look up to you. But more imposing, almost a little unnatural in some ways at the height in which she stands. And to add to that imposing feature, her hair black, slicked back into a top high ponytail that leans against her neck and kind of drapes down, almost like a horse's tail. Just a beautiful swish every time she moves. She dresses in all black, full suits, as if she belongs in John Wick, right? And blood soon to follow, fitting for it. She's very serious, sharp cheekbones, bright, dark brown eyes that just seem to shine and reflect anything that happens to glance or reflect in it. So she's imposing, but very tight lipped in her face. And she sits there every now and then, just looking over, hearing that ding after ding of social media posts going off, the buzzing as you get another like or comment on your TikTok video, another message on your Instagram photo, just continually annoyed and always awake, looking over, like, again?
And then you look at yours, it's like, I got a banger, 3 likes. And then, like,
Yeah, no one likes it. Are you kidding me? This is stupid.
someone unfollowed me. What the heck?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, one thing is that since you guys have spent so much time and energy, like, focus on finding the Baron, driving all around Phoenix and, like, the surrounding cities and everything, you are in such a deep sleep as you go ahead and rest that unless you guys have a merit that says otherwise, you guys are in a very, very deep sleep. Except for one of you. So, one really quick, tell me what all of your awarenesses are. So, on your character sheet, you're going to find the attributes area, and then let me know how many black dots you have in awareness. 4? Okay. 3? Okay.
I'm still looking.
Oh, you're good. It's going to be
Awareness. 1.
1. All right. So, not
Right.
Ivana. Yeah. Yeah, Ivana is like snoring in her vampiric sleep. And for Hermes, as you're in the depths of this like mall, you awaken at the sounds of like whining sort of metal, of like the creaking sort of like metal staircase and doors that are clattering open and the giggles of some sort of stuff, as you hear that there are more people that are actually here. As you like turn to your smartwatch or you turn to your phone or what have you, you can see that it's about like 9 p.m. or so. So it's like it's essentially time to get up, but there are people here, and it's not supposed to be because it's, 1, after construction hours, and 2, a decrepit mall with a lot of debris around. So yeah.
Oh boy, oh gee, oh golly. I'm gonna let the girlies sleep. They're just gonna push the locker open slowly and not necessarily go out into like the halls and ways of the mall, but maybe peek the corner of wherever they're stationed
Yeah.
to see if they can pinpoint those giggles
Sure.
and shit.
So there's 2 things you can do. Number 1, you can go ahead and give me a wits and awareness to just like stop what you're doing and like listen to see if you can gather more information, or you can do a dexterity, stealth, or whatever combination of stuff to be able to. If you have investigate, you can go ahead and like use that to kind of like go investigate in stealth mode or whatever. But it seems like their voices are like rising. You can't quite make out what they're saying, although with a awareness 4, maybe you can. But go to roll for me, and I'll tell you what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hit that wits awareness.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see. 4. That is 1, 2, 3 successes. I'm gonna roll a willpower because.
I'll stop you right there. 3 successes will succeed in this.
All right. Never mind.
Yeah, you're good. As you go ahead and like you get out slowly and quietly from your sort of locker that you were sort of staying in, and you kind of like perk your ears. You can hear the sounds of what's sound to be college students, definitely 18 plus. And then you hear them kind of saying, what's going on, everyone? This is, Peter here from Ghost Hunters 23, your favorite paranormal TikTok. We're here at Metro Center Mall looking for ghosts. Now, a lot of people have said that there are ghosts, so we're going to go ahead and check down here in the, the depths of this sort of like of the earth. And there's a lot of weird, creepy stuff here as you see their flashlights sort of like going around. Now, there's 2 other people that you can hear like in this sort of area as well. From what you gather, they just seem to be like would-be influencers, content creators, paranormal in fact, and all that. Unfortunately, they are walking into the den of real vampires. Now, depending on what you want to do with them is up to you, and whether you'd like to awaken your fellow kindred or not.
See, I made the right sheet today. I'm gonna use Fata Morgana, just
Okay.
off the bat, which is just a big illusion. I want to give them just a fireworks worth of poltergeist in like ghost activity in one foul swoop.
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
All right.
And these are not the most keen college kids, so
Hello.
Were any of us?
yeah, all right. They got 2 successes.
All right. Let me see something. 2, 3, 4. I might, if I can find where my obfuscate is. You said they had 2 successes?
Correct. Yep.
I'm gonna take half.
Sure. Okay. And then what is your total dice pool and what is half?
It'll be 3.
3? Okay.
Manipulation 4 and obfuscate 3.
Perfect. So, so are vampires known among humans? They are not actually. So there is vampire media where like there's still Twilight, Vampire Diaries, True Blood, all those heavy hitters, but everyone thinks it's not really too real. There are paranormal podcasts and TikToks and all this sort of stuff claiming that they are real, but they're all conspiracy theories that no one truly sort of believes in. So you're very much hidden, and yeah. So at this time you summon this sort of illusion of like ghosts and geists and everything like that as they just float around this area. Do they make audio or do this is just visual?
Let me see. There is no limited. It does say visual effects. There's a lot of words and I can't read.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. So, I mean, visual effects is good. So, and you rolled 3, and you need like 2 and above. So you succeed in this as you go ahead and summon these sort of like ghosts that appear and just begin to haunt the halls. And you hear them all stop immediately. And what they're doing, their flashlights flicker to an area of where you've summoned your sort of like illusion, and they scream at the top of their lungs as they just like run immediately up there. As you hear the clanking and the whining of everything. And that's enough noise and sound to be able to wake up Ivana and Eva, from their slumber. And what would you guys like to do or say?
Yeah, like in a kick down, opening the door, like, are you kidding me? Is there another social media ping? And then realizing that she was wrong, she will just turn and walk away. Like just going over to the other side to like kind of wake up her face a little bit, not apologizing to Eva whatsoever for being wrong, that it's not a social media. Compose herself and look over at Hermes. What is it?
More of a, what was it? A couple of kids. Also social media, so you weren't necessarily wrong in your elderly hate, but
I knew it! I knew it! Social media destroying us.
And then Eva?
Yeah, Eva would definitely be irritated because she's got the puff non-depuff eye mask on. It's gonna be like just straight up like who disturbs my slumber sort of mentality. So just peel those off. So you're going to wake me up. You're going to scream. It's not me. It wasn't my phone this time.
This time. Yeah, well, guess who couldn't fall asleep until it was like 1 in the afternoon? Well, 1 p.m. because somebody kept getting notifications because their tweet went viral again. Which, congratulations, I'm sure was something real creative.
So
Echoes. You couldn't just put it on silent for once.
I don't want to miss anything.
As your coterie members are like arguing back and forth, you notice, Hermes, that you actually have a couple notifications on your own phone. Would you say Hermes has a phone, by the way? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so on your phone, Hermes, you do get a couple of notifications. It seems like you have a missed call and a text from a person named Alex, which you have in parentheses, the Slicers and all that kind of stuff, which is a low-tier gang within the Anarch territory that you guys are sort of in. And he's like, hey, when you get a chance, call me. I really need to talk to you. And it was from about like 30 minutes ago or so. Now, as you look to your sort of cell phone reception, you see it's dancing between like one bar and like no bars, which probably adds to the fact that like there'll be a sea of silence, and then suddenly there'll be a implosion of just like tons of notifications for you guys' phones because it goes in and out of signal. But yeah.
To be polite to Eva and Ivana, they're just going to let them finish their conversation. I would like to use Unseen Passage to kind of like get out of the mall and not necessarily run into those kids again.
Sure.
And get some signal. I think that it is a rouse. Let's see.
For Unseen?
Yes.
Unseen. I got the fancy cards.
I love that.
All right.
Ooh.
For Unseen, that is a rouse check, yeah. So go and roll 1d10 and then go ahead and see if you get hungrier from it or not. You're good? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You go completely sort of, silent as you walk around, do everything and all that kind of stuff. And as you do so, you see that outside of the mall, in a little bit of a distance by their car, these like social media influencers are like vomiting and panicking and like, just freaking out. You've caused them immense trauma, and they are like, just like getting ready to go to Denny's to like decompress. And then, yeah. So you get up here to this like top floor. Your bar is increased, you have a signal, and now you're able to make your sort of call. Do you go ahead and reach out?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay. And then meanwhile, Eva and Ivana, you definitely recognize that after maybe like 2 to 5 to 10 minutes of like arguing, your companion's no longer with you.
Oh, great. Now you've terrified Hermes, and they've left as well. You're going to take a picture of that, document that that's gone, just to put everything on social media at this point. Picks in another locker.
Right. That
Really?
is a good angle.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Let's go find. You know what?
And,
I challenge you. Just spend 1 hour without your stupid phone, and I promise you, you're going to be so much more aware. You're always behind the rest of the group, standing in the back, and I feel like I have to be up front because you're busy, always tweeting something out or posting something on Instagram.
No, it's called watching the group. Like I've got your 6. See, that's the thing that what if something's happening? I've got evidence of it.
So, really quick, Eva, you do definitely notice that the poltergeist that was summoned by Hermes is still wandering around, and at this point is right behind Ivana. Would you like to make the Paragon choice of informing her, or the like renegade choice of like letting her discover it on her own?
I'm going to. Eva would just kind of like do like one of those like. Oh, okay. I'm not the observant one. Okay. Noted.
I'm totally still ranting at you. You can't
okay,
even put their phone down for a single second. What?
And
oh, nothing. There's nothing behind you at all.
Why would you even say something like that? Is this a trick? The last time you did it, you pulled a prank and you uploaded it to TikTok, and I had so many people laughing at me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was very funny. And I mean, I'm about to actually, you know what? Can you take like one step to the left?
Take one step to the left. Take one. What? Do I follow your orders now? Excuse me.
so,
Think about who you're speaking to.
Ivana, go ahead and give me a wits and awareness really quick. So you're going to look to your
Oh.
wits on your character sheet, and you're going to look to your awareness.
Okay.
Awareness and then wits. So 2 dice.
Wits is 2. Oh, okay.
So
Good.
go to roll 2 dice and see. You're gonna need 2 successes in order to become aware of this.
That's gonna be okay. Oh, one's a 7, one's an 8.
Okay, good. You succeed in this. So as you sort of do this, yeah, you get the context clues that like there's something going on behind you as you do see these like wisps and floating sort of like energy and all that kind of stuff, and you like are able to slowly turn around enough to be able to see this sort of like ghost that's there. Now it's not real because like it's clearly an illusion of Hermes because you can recognize their sort of magic illusions and all that kind of stuff, but.
Yeah. I'd love to just turn around like full fist, like knuckles straight through it. Are you kidding me? Hermes summoned them 2 weeks ago. You think I wouldn't remember this? You thought this was gonna spook me? You have got to really step up your game if you're gonna get social content out of me.
And sure enough, it dissipates as you do this. So meanwhile, we're going to say that you guys make your way up to the actual like ground floor and all that kind of stuff. So meanwhile, Hermes, in this time, we imagine that you actually give a call to Alex, your contact, and So as you like dial it, it rings only once before getting picked up immediately, and you hear him be like, "You can." What is your insight? Um,
Let's see. I have no insight.
okay, you have 4 awareness though, so that's good.
Yeah.
So you know that it sounds like they're kind of frantic as they're like, "Hello, Hermes, is that you?"
Yeah, it's H. What's up? What?
They're like, perfect. Just want to tell you, we just got a notification that like the Baron has been found and he's been located. He's over at a house. Looks like in Scottsdale. Like it's a little bit east of Phoenix and everything. I'm gonna send you the address. You're gonna want to go there like immediately to go pick him up. And just wanted to get this to you before it spills out to anyone else. But and do you have any questions? Sort of with this or any response?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, thank you for the information. Second, how did you get this information?
Yeah, so he explains that the different gangs have been trying to ride around and look for everything, but it turns out our allies from the Camarilla ended up finding out that he hid at one of their safe houses. So he apparently is doing well. He's mingling with some of the Camarilla, folks and all that kind of stuff, and they just gave us a courtesy call to let us know that he's there so we can pick him up and everything. So that's good news, I guess, but and then
I mean,
yeah, and he goes like, so I guess just like do whatever you can to pick him up as soon as possible. And then there was one other, never mind. As he
no. What?
go ahead and you roll to convince him, whether it be intimidation, persuasion, even presence if you want to, and I'll allow your awe to go through the phone and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
like
man.
you FaceTime me so I can presence you as like.
Sure. I have charisma and manipulation.
If you want
But-
to, yeah.
Okay. I'll probably try manipulation and persuasion if possible. Come on, we have better rapport than this. Just tell me. And let me get those dice together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And thank you for the spare presence. That'll go a long way. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 successes.
Okay, so with 5 successes, that's really, really good. So what is it that you tell them to convince them to finish their thought?
Okay. Look, we have a lot going on. We really need Alvarez back. And as much as no, fuck it. I don't trust those tower bastards. As far as I can throw them. So just give it to me straight. I don't know if you want me to get on my knees and I'll FaceTime me begging, but Christ almighty, what is it?
So, he pauses for just a moment as you hear him kind of like shuffle sort of away, and he kind of whispers sort of into his phone. He goes like, listen, I'm just going to tell you that you didn't hear it from me, but the Faceless Ones are getting really rowdy. Now, really quick, you all know the Faceless Ones to be a name of a gang that's one of the most powerful vampire gangs that you have in your territory. Their opinions very much differ from Baron Alvarez's, but because of his strength and his prowess, he kept them in line. But with him not there, now they're, it seems like they're doing what they want. And he tells you like, Olivia, who runs the Faceless One, she's really looking to obtain the title of Baron, and there are gangs that are actually leaning into her. So you didn't hear from me. I don't want to get my gang in trouble or anything like that, but I want to tell you that it's in your best interest to find the Baron before they do, because I think you're going to be a lot more kind to him than they will be. As he kind of goes like, but you didn't hear it from me, please. As
I didn't hear a peep. I didn't hear a syllable. You're good. Above game, what clan? Who makes up the Faceless Ones?
They're mainly Bruja. They are,
Okay.
yeah. So he goes like, all right, good luck. I'm going to send it to you right now. And you hear a ding. Sure enough, your phone sees there's a pin that's been dropped in that sort of location. And then, just in time for Eva and Ivana to like get up to the sort of top floor. And yeah, so he goes like, good luck, as he, kind of hangs up. Mm-hmm. And you're here. So one, we're going to say that, let me roll a die actually. We are going to say that the car that you guys have been driving the last few nights is actually owned by Becca, or sorry, Ivana. So take a moment to think about what kind of car you have that everyone would be driving in. Free range, whether it be a like motorcycle with two sidecars or like a or an SUV or whatever the case might be. But yeah, while you're thinking, Hermes, you have this information. Your coterie members have risen to the actual ground floor. What would you like to do?
The
Well,
turret goes
good
down for
evening, morning, whichever you want
Or
to take
what would you
fancy
like
to. We have details, which I just blah 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 information just redispersed. But we do have some faceless bullshit lurk around the corner, so we might need to get this done a little bit, quickly.
Okay. And do we know Alex?
You do. So actually, no. Go ahead and give me a awareness politics roll. So what you're going to do is you're going to look to your attributes and find awareness, and then look to your skills and find politics, and then go ahead and do you have any dice in those two categories? First off,
3 for awareness, 0 for politics.
0. Okay, perfect. So if you want to take half, that means that you're just going to split that in half, always rounding down. So that means you'll have 1 awareness, and with 1 awareness, I will tell you that yeah, you do know of him. Like Alex is a part of one of the lower gangs, not really anyone of renown or like anything special, but also you've never heard anything bad about them. So there's that in their corner.
Okay. So can we trust Alex? I mean, I don't know him. I don't know how well you know him, but this isn't going to be us running headlong into a trap, is it?
I mean, first of all, can you trust anyone?
I
Let's
can't
get a
trust
little bit.
myself. Absolutely not. No.
I say, okay, then that's just a stupid question. Second, if we do, I think we're pretty good in terms of strengths and balances and such. So that's again 2 stupid questions, wasting my time. I'm kidding. It's nice to see you. Don't hurt me.
Okay, I'll make your blood boil out your eyes, but go off.
Yeah,
Oh, Hermes.
Yeah,
keep
you're already
talking. I
doing
love
like
it
blood
when you say
bending.
these things.
Yeah.
But no, I first of all, I mean, I appreciate this type of like the night has started off just swimmingly. So you know what? We'll just we'll keep going with this. I mean, I got nothing but love for you. Nothing but love.
So
That's why I hassle you.
So one thing, really quick, Eva, you are the seer, and I totally forgot to put it on your character sheet, even though you're like the seer, is that you have access to an ability called premonition. So with premonition, you have bouts where you get to see into the future, whether it be near, whether it be far, whether it be clear or muddled. It all depends. So there's 2 ways that this can happen. Number 1. For free, I will throw a premonition out to you, and you can choose to deny it or accept it. So if you accept it, that means your body essentially goes limp as you get thrown into this sort of like vision. But you are unable to interact in the scene that you're currently in. So if you're in a fight or a shootout and you choose to like accept a vision, you're just like a limp noodle while they're fighting for their lives, essentially your companions. But you can choose to deny it to stay in the scene and contribute, but you're going to lose whatever that was coming down the pipeline. So the reason I bring this up is because you have a premonition that's coming to you right now as you feel tingling in your brain and your vision starts to blur and starts if you and get muddled with something else that's sort of happening. Do you choose to accept it or deny it?
In this case, since how long do the visions last? Real time.
Real time, they're probably going to last about like 10 minutes or so. Yeah.
Okay. And since my party is aware that I have these episodes,
Happens all the time. Yep.
it's all the time. Yeah, like sassy, sassy, sassy. And then
Exactly, yeah.
Um,
There she goes again. As like
I know. What a mess. So, yeah, I'm just hassling Hermes, and I think I would grab their shoulder, just be like, "Hang on." Then
fall back into it. Sure. So as you hear the sounds of maybe Ivana's voice like beginning to sort of say something and Hermes sort of responding, all of it sort of turns to white noise, and then it bleeds into something else as you guys are essentially, driving down the road, listening to Taylor Swift and everything, and suddenly you hear a
Ooh.
broadcast of like you're like, no, not this Blood Witch. Yeah, you suddenly
I came out of my vision just like to be like, no.
yeah, I deny this. I deny this. It's like, yeah.
Next.
So, you end up seeing a vision where Taylor Swift is playing through the radio as suddenly it gets interrupted by a news broadcast saying that like there's been a shootout, at this location in Scottsdale. Everyone stay away from it. There are helicopters. SWAT teams are apparently being summoned. Stay away from the area for the safety of like everyone. And it zooms to you guys getting to that location and seeing the police kind of warding everyone off. And it zooms to you apparently looking into the house and seeing there's a bunch of sort of agents and pretty thickly armored dudes that are kind of or people rather going through this scene, and the fight's over and you see some dead sort of kindred that are there, whether it's been staked or like just completely burned alive and everything, and it's pretty bad. And specifically you look at the address that like was there, and it's the same one that Hermes essentially kind of like told you guys about. So that's like where the Baron is supposed to be. It's swarmed with agents, and like the worst possible thing that could happen happens. And then yeah, so in these 10 minutes, is there anything particular that you guys want to do, or just get in the car and throw her in the trunk or in the back seat and then like drive over to the location?
I'd be happy just to pick her up, like sling her over my shoulder, like here we go again, one more time. Hermes, couldn't you have at least given me a heads up she was gonna knock herself out again?
I mean, she just did the arm thing, and I just assumed that it was like some kind of frivolous touch. You know what you could do? You can counter this and just have your own little social media moment of your own. Big podcaster found drunk in the mall. What will they think of next? But I'm not here to instigate. I'm just saying, if you ever wanted to do something for Get Back, I just thought that'd be pretty funny. But you didn't have that
Yeah.
for me.
How do I do that? Ivana, clearly absolutely unsure of like even how to begin recording on this. You can see that she's stumbling with trying to figure out like even how to turn her camera flip back towards herself.
You're like,
Very Luddite.
I don't know if I can
like,
post videos
oh.
on MySpace as like
Yeah, like, yeah, we have this ability. How do we record anything?
You know what? Never mind. Let's just make sure we get her safe in the car, and yeah.
Perfect.
And you'll find out we're gonna be driving a little mini coupe. Listen, I love these cars. They're adorable. They worked in the Italian job, so I don't see why they couldn't
It's
work
up to you.
here,
So
too.
literally on your
Yes.
sheet, you are rich with $500,000. So if you want to have a mini
Yes.
coupe, it's totally cool.
I do. I want it like this beautiful matte black with one single racing stripe white that sparkle like silver sparkle down the middle. But yes, it is a mini coupe, just like from the Italian job.
Nice. Okay, good. So, with that, you guys load up. You know where you're going to. You get in the car and you're driving essentially down the. Who is driving actually?
Oh, this is my car, so me.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm just.
that's totally fine.
Excuse me.
So, let me see how well you drive. Go ahead and do a dexterity and
Oh.
drive check.
Oh, good. My dexterity is a 1. And my drive is a 3, so I get 4, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It could
Let's
be
do
that you
this.
were the driver for the Baron or something like that to be able to make sure that they get to where they need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 fails, 1 success.
That's
2 of
fine.
them are 1.
I mean, okay, so, other question. Actually, no, you're
Yeah.
fine. You're going to succeed. You need at least one success,
Okay.
It is Arizona, so that's like doing better than most at driving. So, yeah. So, in this time, you guys get in the car. You like put Eva in the back seat essentially as you guys are like sort of chatting about sort of what's going on. Another thing is that you guys have access to whatever weapons you would like, that you feel like your character would have access to or on them, within reason. You can't be walking around with RPGs or something like that, or maybe you want to if whatever. But in this time, you guys are driving down the road as you hear the sounds of various music sort of playing through the speakers. You're not really caring about the music as you're worried about this mission of getting the Baron back, to safety. Because otherwise he's a linchpin to everything, and this all is going to unravel if not. Now, while you guys are in the car, before Eva wakes up, is there anything you guys actually like to say to one another? Or do you sit in silence?
Okay, so I guess while we have our little seer having their little dreamy dream, what the fuck are we gonna do?
What do you mean? What are we gonna do?
I mean,
We go in there. Whoa, what?
I mean more of a. I'm not a punchy person. Like I can
Why
weave.
not though?
I can. I don't
You
know.
could just close the fingers, bring them in, and then you just push it forward. And you can see like Ivana just like punching the steering wheel a couple times, which is probably why I'm not great at driving. But
It's like
good
all
enough.
bent and like
Yeah. Just so you can see that spot. Just try to just clench the fist. Come on. There you and then hit him real hard. I don't know. This may be revealing that I've never
One
punched
superficial
anyone in real
damage,
life.
Hermes.
Yeah.
On the way
None of
back,
us
they
know
just
how to
knocked
really
themselves in the
punch.
head.
Yeah. There you go. So perfect. As you're trying to teach like combat lessons to Hermes and all that kind of stuff, Eva, you wake up, in this sort of time as you hear the
227 East McDonald.
you hear this sound. Not only that, but you also hear the sounds of Taylor Swift that's playing on the radio. It's beginning. Beginning of the song is playing, but you heard the interruption come towards the end of the song. If you'd like to take the time to explain anything of your vision or whatever you'd like to do, or keep it to your chest, yeah.
Yeah, no, that is. I just immediately come out just with the address.
Sure. And that's the same exact address where the Baron's, going to be at, and like all that sort of.
So, I would look to Hermes and just like breathing for the sake of. I mean, I'm only 40, so sometimes I get in a habit, and just repeat the address.
Yeah,
Catch the song. Is that where we're going, or is that where we're going right now?
yeah, that's it, to the letter. Well, why?
I was there. It doesn't go well.
What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't go well?
I saw us at the address. SWAT. I don't know who they are, but they know who we are, and they know how to take us out, and they do.
Okay, not to nitpick. So when you say, did you see us specifically on the ground? Like, did you see me? Did you see Yvonne?
To answer that question, you did not see your coterie members or party members hurt in any way, shape, or form. In fact, they were like right next to you, observing with you, inside the house. Yeah.
Just other kindred, not us, but we'll see it.
And it is actually at this moment that you hear the sounds of like an interruption in the sort of like music and everything as they go, we're so sorry to interrupt you, your sort of like T-Swift and everything, but we did want to inform you that over in Scottsdale there is actually a gang shootout apparently, and police are heavily involved and engaged with these sort of like armed sort of criminals, dangerous sort of criminals. So make sure to steer clear. The police have sort of barred entry to certain sections or areas. As you hear the sounds of helicopters flying overhead, heading into the direction that you're actually going towards, as they go like, if you have any plans at Scottsdale's, I would very much encourage you to cancel your plans and go anywhere else tonight because things are looking spicy. Stay safe out there as they go ahead and turn back on Taylor Swift and yeah.
That sounds like exactly where we want to be. That sounds like a party.
No.
Oh.
I know that we have to, so like just hear me out. I'm gonna do one of those from like the back seat, like lean in, like on your headrest in your glamorous Mini Cooper. We need.
Ivana's got like a tense face as she listens.
We need another way to get in. I know this is where we have to go, but they don't take us out. But we have to find another way to not have all of these casualties, because what I saw, and have I ever been wrong? When I see it,
I'm kidding. Yeah, you're pretty. You're.
All right.
Eva has an 80% success rate, so it's pretty good for Sears as far as they go. Now, one other thing. Now we got a wonderful donation of $50 from the father of vampires, Jason Carl. So so that means that you guys have one let it happen. So that means it's an auto success no matter what the situation is. You can just pull the trigger and it happens. So that's not one for each of you, just one as a group. So you guys have to come to a consensus to agree when to sort of use it. And we got another $5 donations for one reroll. So in the chamber, there's like one reroll free for any of you. And it works on hunger dice, works on blood, normal dice, whichever. And we will continue. So you are at the situation where you're on the freeway and you're coming to your actual exit to get onto the sort of the side streets to head over to the suburban area where apparently the Baron is in this sort of house that's in this sort of upper class neighborhood. Would you like to alter plans and go to another route or simply just drive to there directly? Whichever you'd like to do. Now, as your storyteller, which is like Dungeon Master essentially, there's a couple pieces of advice I can offer you. Number one, you can do checks. You can do a intelligence technology to be able to look at Google Maps and to be able to find an alternate route to get there. You can do any other sort of checks you can sort of think of to be able to do it. Not only that, but Eva, if you wanted to push yourself, you can go ahead and force a premonition by paying a rouse check, and you can just strain yourself to try to see the future and see what might help you guys the best. But the more you push yourself, the more consequences that occur. Yeah.
So I think at this point, I would turn to you both and say, I can try to see beyond, but what can happen in that 20%.
I mean, to be fair, you just got back. I will like to make a small suggestion. My illusions are pretty bitchin'. I could just make us look like a police car. Ivana can use her baddie venture stuff to make herself seem
Punch
even
them
more
in the
important.
face. Yes.
Yeah.
I hit them hard. Got it.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't say. I just said that you can just look like an officer and just.
It'll be really convincing.
Mm-hmm.
Just forget I said that, and we just find an alternative route. We can Google Maps app, something our way around the gunfire.
In all this, you all know, Ivana will listen to whatever you all want, just following the lead.
So yeah, that's my only piece. So if I hold back, I'll stay of right mind. I feel like this isn't the time to be out for 10 minutes now that we are in sort of like ground zero. But now that you guys know what I've seen, if we just want to go about it in a little crafty way so that doesn't happen.
So I will give you guys this option too. Now, number one, you can try to find an alternate route to sort of get there, get out of the cars and go on foot to try to get there to see what's sort of going on. Two, you can try to drive hard and drive fast to beat traffic and get there before everything sort of goes down, if you'd like to. Now, there is no wrong way to do this, because at the end of this adventure, the two paths I have is the Baron lives, the Baron dies. So you'll get to one of those points, by the end of the night. How you get there is totally up to you. No wrong ideas or anything. If you guys want to go to Whataburger and just call it a night, then that's like a whole different adventure you can also do. Yeah.
The options.
All right, I guess we can just go down the middle. Eva, I trust you. If you want to just get some pillow action happen, just lay flat, do one of your little sightseeing things, perfectly fine. And we just take it, not easy, but do a little, sneaking in the car. We got a little coupe, they ain't gonna notice us. So, how do we sing? Team Baron on 3?
Baron? Yeah. Hashtag Baron? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah? No?
No.
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 Illusion. Jeez.
Baron, jeez.
Go lay down.
I mean,
do the
murder is
thing.
at hand, but lighten up. We're all dead. It's fine.
How about you go take a nap again?
Oh my gosh. So what would you guys?
If you try to
go-
lay down, I would like to try to hit every little road bump on the way just to make it a little bit harder.
Ow. Ow.
There's like clamber in the back and
Yeah.
yeah.
Hit
So-
a little, run up on the medium a little bit. It's fine.
oh God. Bert,
It's fine.
so
All right. So
how would
I'll-
you like to
I wonder.
approach the situation?
Above game, what I'm suggesting is that like we do have Eva have run a premonition while Ivana does do some car creeping, just like not necessarily
Sure.
trying to beat the police, but get it in a way that is a little inconspicuous.
Yes.
That works. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and have Eva, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and go back into a premonition to see if you can gather any more information on what's going to happen in sort of the future. Go ahead and roll a rouse check in order to do so. So that you're going to get 1d10, and you're going to roll it, and then 6 and above, you don't get any more hunger. 5 and below, your hunger goes up by 1.
3.
3? Okay. So on your sheet, you can increase your hunger by 1 by like clicking, a little black dot or whatever. So now whenever you have a dice pool, you're going to have 2 hunger dice in there instead of just 1. And that can impact gameplay depending on if you get 1s or 10s on your hunger dice and all that sort of stuff. You fall into this premonition as the world around you begins to fade away, and you are back into that house, sort of like where the Baron's supposed to be, and you see the aftermath of this sort of conflict. As you see that, just as you said before, these agents, these soldiers, everything like that, that have SWAT gear, are very much in the know about what you guys sort of are. They have stake launchers, they seem to have like incendiary rounds and all that kind of stuff, and they are putting the bodies of these sort of kindred into containers and piling them in a corner. Not only that, but you can see that like there is a woman of interest, and she seems to be in very religious attire, religious sort of garb. What is your occult, like your passive occult? So if you look at your skills, you're going to find on the right side of your sheet, there's going to be what is it?
4.
4. Okay, so you're very knowledgeable. You know that it's like the Saints of Leopold, and they are a religious sort of faction that is like very much have fought against vampires for time and time again, are very knowledgeable about vampires, and they train their soldiers to be essential, or their priests rather, to be of true faith. Now, true faith means that they wholeheartedly believe in their faith with such a capacity that they can actually do harm or protect themselves in a variety of ways. And you know that this woman, this only particular woman, has true faith. And even as you look upon her, it kind of hurts your eyes to like stare at her, and you begin to bleed sort of, or cry sort of blood as you sort of like look to her. As you hear her just say to everyone, like, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want those containers in that armored truck, and we're going to head over to State Insurance to be able to begin to interrogate them. But be safe with this one, as she points to the Baron's container. It goes like, because from what our intel has told us, our informant has essentially told us, he is their political leader, apparently the Baron, and he's going to have the most information. So make sure he in particular is safe, and then get him secured, and we're going to head out immediately. You guys all clean up the scene and have local PD make it look like it's just or make them think it was just a shootout, as we said before. As they're like, yes ma'am, as they all begin to like go. So number one, you know that they are the Baron and others are being loaded in containers in an armored truck going to State Insurance. Number two, you realize that there is a woman of true faith that is there, which might be even the most deadly of them all. But these people have weapons that are particular to vampires, and it's a very dangerous situation. So it's still in the 10 minutes, and Ivana, you are behind the wheel. I'm going to require a composure or dexterity and drive check. So the difference here is dexterity is you want to get there fast. Composure is you want to get there calm and cool like everyone else.
Dexterity. It's
Sure.
the not as great roll, but it's how I would like to play this.
That's fine. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So dexterity is the 1, and drive has 3, so 4 total.
Correct. And one of those is a hunger die in your dice pool. So roll those 4, and then let me know how many successes you get. To get there, you have one success?
Yes.
Okay, so if you like to, you can let it play, let the dice tell a story, or two, you can pop a point of willpower to re-roll 3 non-hunger dice if you'd like to.
Let's stick with it as is for now.
Sure.
For getting
Traffic
into
is
a situation.
traffic is heavy as police have begun to
Mhm.
block roadways and like ward people off, and like the freeway is becoming congested. There was an opening to like really be dramatic, but there are police vehicles that are zooming across with their sirens on to get seemingly to the location you're getting, you're going towards. So you kind of say like it's not the right time to be super aggressive, and you kind of like drive sort of normally and get there at a reasonable amount of time. Like Google Maps is still like, we're gonna get there in about 10 minutes, and that's what we're gonna get there in. Like, we should use Waze, but like
The goal is to get faster than it, though. Yeah, every time.
yeah, exactly. And then perfect. Is there anything else you guys would like to do or arrive at the location?
Seems good.
Okay,
Ivana just wants to get there.
that's fine. So you guys listen to a few more songs as you guys hear like Eva snoring in the background as totally passed out, and you arrive in the like congestion of like this area as there's various people who are trying to get just home or like to another house within this sort of vicinity, as there are police like blockages that are like just directing traffic and telling them to go sort of the opposite way. Now you're in the neighborhood that you need to be in, but you can't get there by car unless you want to do something drastic. How would you guys like to address the situation? And Eva, you have come back at this point. As yeah. Oh, actually, sorry. My wife has summoned me to put the baby down. We're gonna take a 10-minute break really quick. As I
I
go.
took a 10-minute break.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. You're like, not another one, another vision. It's like that's again. So, all right, everyone. We will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes with more vampire action, and we'll see you guys soon. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to our wonderful stream, raising money for the ACLU while playing Vampire the Masquerade. I hope you guys are all doing well. Really quick, we're going to go ahead and do some brief reintroductions. So really quick, just tell everyone who you are and yeah. So nothing too crazy or too detailed. So starting off, we're going to go with Vin.
Hi guys, again, I'm Vin at VinVoxV on Twitter, and I'm playing Hermes the Ravnos.
Perfect. And then Ceremony.
Perfect. I am playing Eva, and I'm a seer, a blood seer.
Nice. And then Becca.
I am Ivana Dorantes from the Ventru, very alley cat style. So I'm excited to see how this mixed encounter will go.
Perfect. So yes, speaking of that, we will now go ahead and roll right in. So you guys are still you've essentially arrived in the neighborhood of the house that you're supposed to get to that has the Baron there. News broadcast has said that there is a shootout going on. They're saying that it's gang activity, but in reality you know that it's the Baron and whatever the kindred he is with just waiting for you guys to sort of like arrive at everything. So as Eva wakes up from the back seat, seeing the little bit more of information that was gathered, Hermes and Ivana, you now have a decision to make on how exactly you're going to get there. Now, with your basic wits and awareness, really quick, you know that this is a neighborhood, a suburbs. So even though you can't go down this road to get to the house, you can still turn down another road, get out of your car, and then hop fences if needed to get to the location you're sort of looking for. Because the fences aren't that high. Humans could even do this. But if there is some other way that you'd like to get there, whether it be through illusions or domination or what have you, the ball is in your court. And I'll let you guys continue the scene with Eva immediately waking up. And is there anything you'd like to say, Eva?
I would just reiterate the vision. There's a ton of people, SWAT, fully armed for taking us specifically out, and there was also a person of true faith there. So there's definitely more at play. They are trying to take the Baron alive for questioning and information. So this is definitely not like a hit type situation. This is now like a rescue mission before they take him away to their facility.
Great. So that means we go the coward route of stealth, and then from behind we punch them in the face.
First of all, who said stealth was for cowards?
It's the most indirect route. When you have something that you need to do, you take the quickest route to it. But fine, we can take the safe route, the coward route, and we'll go through the back and we'll punch them in the face from the behind.
Okay, let me just get you on something real quick. The direct way is gonna get you a stake directly in your chest if they're lucky. Maybe they're stupid and they might get you in the mouth first, and then I'll be happy. What we need to consider. Look, if we just found a little parking spot and we just go over these fences, make it very quick, unless you think you can be faster in your car. I'm here for mediation. It's not like we're on a timed meeting. So, I'm all ears.
Fine. If it protects the car, then we can take the coward route, and I'll be fine with it, and I'll stop complaining. For now.
All right.
I like that, non-complaining.
That doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking or complaining about your social media. I see that you're already back on your phone. I don't know. I don't actually know if you are, but I'm just guessing.
I was out for 20 minutes.
You look at your phone, 2,000 notifications. I'm like...
That's the way. But
what content do you post? Out of curiosity.
Balls in your court, whatever you want to. Yeah. Now, I will say actually, you have a podcast with a good amount of fan base. So whatever that podcast is about is up to you.
Yeah, it's about all things spooky and pretty much everything that I could say that doesn't out me. That's what I say. So yeah, all things spooky and occulty, and people like it, and they'll be none the wiser. We'll never know. Never know.
Oh my gosh. So two things really quick. Number one, we just got a $10 donation for heal one like superficial damage. So that way, and we'll upgrade that to like two superficial damage. So that way, if anything happens that's light, you know. So and really quick mechanics rule. You guys have two sort of health bars. Number one, you have superficial, which means that if you get shot with a normal gun, if you get hit, stabbed, you know, anything like that, you can heal from that really quickly, no problem at all. Now, if you get hit by a bus, if you end up, you know, walking out into the daylight, you know, getting hit by fire, getting like an arm chopped off, that is aggravated damage. That's it takes a lot longer to heal from, but you will eventually heal from it. So that one is like, you know, you get healed for that much. And thank you so much to Raynok for going ahead and donating the rest of our goal. Now, there is one other thing. So first off, with Raynok, he donated 135. So you can tell us what you want for that 135. If you want to chop it up in different things. Personally, I recommend $75 for TPK mode, and then whatever else you want to add after that. But there is also we got a donation from AZ Grouch for $100. That was to Ko-Fi, which will still go to our donation goal, and that is help the homies. TPK plus 2. Oh my god. So TPK plus 2. All right, cool. So we have TPK mode and also help the homies. So there will be a scene that is extremely difficult for you and a scene that is going to help out and make it a lot lighter and easier for you. That is what's going to come down the pipeline. And then thank you so much for helping us achieve our goal. The ACLU does wonderful things for a lot of us here in the United States and a bunch of other things and all that kind of stuff from various fighting for abortion rights and fighting to help enforce the DACA sort of stuff to be able to get people to become U.S. citizens and so many other things. So it's wonderful. Oh, if balanced, I'll fix that. Oh my god. So moving forward, getting back into this sort of scene, you are essentially being turned away by unless you want to drive through the police barricade, it's up to you. But you're at that point where you can either turn away from the police barricade and go down the street or drive through whatever. Oh, really quick, there's feedback. Could you mute your mic really quick? There we go. Yeah, it seemed like it was from you really quick. I'm not sure. It was like a loose wire or something. But you can check super fast. But Ivana, do you want to and if you want, you can try it again.
Okay. I missed a little bit with the sound, so I was so we have the chance to probably I want to trust with the group's decision that we were going to go ahead and we were going to park and we were going to sneak in. But to kind of help us out, I have my butler Bruce in this. He's been hanging out in the trunk as a good butler does. Yes. Yeah. As a distraction, could we just Bruce drop us off and can I command Bruce to be go around and drive up front blasting Taylor Swift and honking the horn like crazy?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see here. You know what? Yeah, we'll make it work. So you tell him that he obviously knows. Now, what is your relationship with Bruce? Does he know you're a kindred and still help you out, or is it more so of just you're one of his high profile clients and he doesn't quite know?
Bruce was just thrilled that this was a job that paid really well and had health insurance, and so they're just I don't care about the details. I can afford to live in this city and eat well because of you. So Bruce just is absolutely content with letting me do whatever I need to do.
Okay, yeah. In this dystopian capitalist society, I would also work for a vampire and not worry about it. Yeah, so it's totally
right.
Cool.
Oh, they're taking care of me. Yeah, they get sick days, PTO, perfectly fine. Pet sick days, necessary.
That works. So in this time, he drops you guys off and says, "You guys have fun." As he drives around. Now, when you text him and tell him that it's go time, he will then start this distraction. So at this point, you guys are outside of sort of neighborhood. There's people that are kind of watching the chaos going on, but there is an end to them as they're so distracted by the police and all the different cars. And every so often in the distance, you can hear the sounds of popping. There is still fighting sort of going on, but it's getting less so. And And then Hermes, do you want to do anything? No, not yet. Okay. So, would you guys like to try to hop fences or approach in any other sort of way?
Are there,
Ivana's all ready to hop fences if that's the only pathway she sees.
you're gonna go with the fence. Is there anyone that's like a straggler outside of like the house itself? Like people that are just kind of milling around?
Yeah, absolutely. So there, you see that in one of the houses that's closest to you, there is like it seems like a college kid that kind of steps out. You know, he has no shirt on and basketball shorts and everything like that. The sounds of Apex Legends is like blaring from his inside of his house as he's kind of like looking out and seemingly paying attention to the police and not you guys. But he's like a good deal away from the main crowd of people. Yeah.
Okay. Or any of like the SWAT crew people, or are they all localized?
Yeah, you can't see any of the SWAT. There, you see some like a small sprinkle, like one police car and two police officers that are directing traffic, and then so that everyone else must be further in. Like, yeah.
I'm going to keep my eye on them. I won't take any action, and I don't even know if I have any type of glamour ability. I don't see that.
No, you don't. So the main things you have, you can paralyze people with your blood. You can turn your blood into acid, and you can do something else. Oh, exhaust vitae. So you can you can increase the hunger of a vampire, or by like reducing the amount of blood that they have in them, and then you can do a ritual to like essentially climb like a spider, like vertically if you wanted to, and all that. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I will follow. I'll complain, but we'll go over the wall.
Like fine as a okay. So if you guys would like to, you can go ahead. Oh, Hermes.
Okay, is my mic better? I'm so
It's
sorry.
it
I
is.
don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
You're good now.
Okay, that was terrifying. I do want to roll back just a little bit. We know we have our butler in the trunk, and I hate to make things a little bit uncomfortable for him, but I did take the merit, check the trunk. Where essentially, I have an array of weapons or necessities or tools.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if anybody needs like a certain weapon, if anybody needs like bolt cutters or something like that, it is in the trunk.
Smart, smart. Is there a sledgehammer? Because I'd love one of those.
Storyteller, can there be a sledgehammer?
Absolutely. Yep. There will be a Final Fantasy VII like Buster Sword in there if that's what you want. It's like up to you.
Ivana just slings it over her back, and it's like it creates this really cool silhouette.
Oh my gosh. And then so
Fantastic.
to proceed forward, there's a couple things you need to do. Number one, go ahead and make an athletics or dexterity and athletics check to be able to jump over the fences. Eva, if you want to, you can do a rouse check to be able to do the ritual of cling, of an insect. That way you can just automatically pass these checks if you'd like to.
Well, I have 2 hunger.
Correct. So you can risk getting a third. You can also choose to feed on people if you want to, because there are quite a bit of humans that are around. And
Sure, this guy.
if you want to,
No,
yeah.
fast food.
Oh boy.
So we're going to say that you approach, or you can ask some of your friends to help if whatever way. Like, how do you convince this person that's standing just outside of his house with the basic, awareness, sort of thing? You don't see anyone else that's in the vicinity really around. And yeah, what would you like to do?
Okay. I'm going to say to my party, hey, I'm getting a little peckish to avoid things really going sideways if I need to, and if I need to use any of my witchy woman ways. I think it might be best if I grab a little something before we really jump into this, if that's okay. And I'm pretty sure that Chad over here is really not going to miss like a pint or two.
Oh,
I mean,
you would drink from that thing? Ivana just kind of has a sour look.
You could
looking over
smell
that
the Axe body
Chadster.
spray from here.
Oh,
Those bite. It's. I've been hungry before. It's just one of those things. Not form, just function.
Yeah, we've
They
eaten
say you
worse.
taste with your smell, though. You can handle that? Oh,
So even from
ugh.
here,
Uh,
even from here, you you see him like kind of like stop for a moment and then just like look to you guys, and he kind of looks over. He goes like, "Oh my god, is that Eva Hernandez of the podcast? What is your podcast name?
Um, it is
Did you what was your
Oh,
podcast
Misery and
about?
Woe.
Oh, Misery and Woe, yeah. Like, oh my God, is that the host of A Misery and Woe? Like, I follow all your stuff. What are you doing out here? As he like heads over, and then like he's like, sweet sledgehammer, as he like looks to Ivana, and he goes like, can I get a selfie with you? Like, please, like, no one's ever gonna believe this. As
Sure.
Ivana's eyes just twitching right now. Like, at this kid. Are you kidding me?
I'm uh, sorry. Well, yeah, let's step over here. We're actually doing some home renovations, hence the sledgehammer. And it's
Mm.
so hot. Like it was like 105 today. No way we'd be doing that workout in the heat. So, working at night. Let's just step over here so they can get back to work and hold off on the selfie. Let me use my phone, not your phone. I'll use my phone.
Sure, yeah, you definitely know social media way better than I do. And he goes like, "Oh my God, I'm like, it's blowing my mind. I have a tattoo of your podcast." As he kind of like shows you his shoulder, and it says like your symbol and everything, and like all that, and yeah. And he goes like, "Do you guys like want any drinks or like hot pockets? I just made some. They're like in the house. If you want to, you know, check it out or anything."
They're good. I am actually a little bit thirsty, but you know what? That's totally fine. I appreciate your support and your patronage. But yeah, I'll take the picture and I'll send it to you. Okay.
He's like,
And
"Sure." As
awesome.
and you go ahead and take this photo like with your fan essentially of your podcast, and he is super stoked. He like, it's kind of like that scene from Mulan, how he like shakes your hand and then points like at you and then just like smiles and all that kind of stuff. Now, to let you know, number one, because this is a fan of yours, you have increased dice to your dice pool, making it very easy for them to do whatever you want. So if you did want to feed on him, you could convince him to go to somewhere where no one can see, and then just go ahead and like lunge on him, if you'd like to. Now, the other bonus to you, because you and Becca are both first time players. So I will tell you the wombo combo that Ivana has domination where she can cloud memory. So if you really wanted to play this, you could always feed on him and then she could just warp his mind or vampire punch him and then he will not talk. Whichever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to use because I also he is a fan and I have a decent amount of composure and wit and charisma. So I feel like with all three of those, okay. Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, there you go. So to do this roll, what you're gonna do is you can do, and I'll pull up your character sheet to help you out. You're gonna go ahead and do composure, and persuasion, or you can do. Actually, let me see. Fame is also 2 dice, and you get one more dice to your dice pool because you're beautiful, because you have that merit. So it's going to be 3, 2, so that's 5, and then 6 for your beautiful die. So 6 dice you're gonna roll,
6 die. Great. Oh boy.
and you have 2 hunger dice. So the first 2 results will be represent your hunger dice. So how many successes did you get?
Okay. 7 and a 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then 4, 4, 8, 10.
Okay, so so you got 3 successes in this. So you only needed like 2 successes to do this because he's a fan of your podcast.
good.
So he ends up being like, what do you tell him? Just like to go, yeah, let's do go in your house, or like, yeah, like, do you want to go behind this tree really quick, and then I can like show you cool, like whatever.
Yeah, so I'll just yeah, after take the selfie. Yeah, well, what would be really cool since you're really into the show and I appreciate that. let me show you something that's even cooler that I'm working on. I'm gonna pretend to have my phone out and like leaning close to show him,
Hmm.
and I'm just gonna go in for the bite.
Perfect. So he's completely unprepared. And he's like, "Yeah, let's see it for sure." And
Yeah.
like totally vulnerable. Yeah. So one more check. You're gonna do either strength or dexterity, and then you're gonna do brawl. So so essentially 2 dice is what you're gonna go ahead and roll as you just lunge on him. Now it's gonna be a really easy. You need one success to do it as you go ahead and just like lunge on him, and then be able to feed on him. What'd you get?
4 and a 1.
4 and a 1. Oh, so I'm gonna allow this to happen because number one, you have 2 hunger dice, so that means you can't re-roll with the willpower. Two, this is when the hunger mechanic comes into play. So if you get a critical and one of those tens is your hunger dice, that's a messy critical where you go overboard. Whatever you do succeeds, but way too much to the point where everyone knows you're a supernatural being. But a 1 is a bestial failure. So what that means is that you go full-blown vampire mode like in this moment onto him. So I'm going to let you succeed in this as you go like, let me show you something that I never really show my fans or whatever. As you go ahead and your eyes go red, your fangs bare, and you like press him up against the wall with your undead strength and then just feed on him as he's like, holy shit, as like, you know, he feeds. Now when you feed on someone, it's a very sensational like feeling for the victim essentially. So they are like out of their wits and but also terrified. Like I'm scared, but I like it as like essentially. Now, Coda remembers.
Can I lean over to Hermes real quick? Like, let's take bets. Do you think he's a screamer, a crier, or the silent kind?
It makes it look like it's possible to be all three, but let's see how it plays out.
Perfect.
You're on.
So you have fed on him. Now you have done something that's called breaching the masquerade. So the whole game is called Vampire the Masquerade, where you're supposed to not ever show humans that you are what you are. And at this time, you've broken that as you have your fangs bared, your eyes go red, and like you know, you're full blown, like maybe even like blood that slips from his. Exactly, yeah. Blood that slips from his like inserts or whatever begins to float as you're like this blood witch and all that kind of stuff. And your hunger goes back to 1. So you can only get to 0 hunger if you full blown kill someone while feeding on them. And that like does a whole bunch of things. But you at least go back to 1 hunger at this time, and you're essentially done feeding as he like sort of slumps to the ground and passes out onto the floor. Now, a couple things. One, he didn't take the selfie, so he doesn't have any record that he met you. Like you're like, no one will ever believe you as you like bite him essentially. So you can go ahead and let him be that way, or you can have your coterie member be able to wipe his memory just to be sure. Whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah. For the droplets that have escaped, can I basically I feel like I'm bloodbending, right? And I can restore and like heal?
Absolutely. It's I think it's the same lore that like vampire spit heals. So you just like kind of
Like, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna patch him up. Little axe. They'll be none the wiser. And with that, then I wouldn't bother Ivana with the clouding because then it's like you have no record and you have no injury.
Mm.
So
That works. Okay. So everyone go and roll your dexterity athletics, and then Eva, if you want to roll your rouse check to do the clinging insect. Oh, Hermes.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, and then yeah, go for it. For everyone.
Yeah, I did roll that earlier, and I got a bloody crit for.
Did you really?
5 successes. Yeah.
You're just like leaping over fences with your vampiric strength. Oh my god.
nice. And then I would just have one roll for the cleaning of the insect.
Yeah, 1 rouse check. So it's going to work no matter what, but just to see if you get hungry or not. So roll 1d10, and then 6 and above, you succeed. 5 and below, you fail and get 1 more hunger again. But Chad is right there, so you can feed on him again if you want to. As you you get 3. Okay, yeah. Your hunger goes back up to 2. And again, seriously though, if you want to feed on Chad one more time, you can do so and then just get him down. It'll just be like really weak. So yeah.
Okay. He's fine. He can take it. So I'm gonna go back. I'll get the other neck, the other side.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So
That's fine. You go
yeah.
back to one hunger. Yeah. And then, so for Hermes, you got a bloody crit. And then, Ivana, what'd you get?
I got 2 successes and 1 fail.
Two successes. Okay, so two successes is totally fine. So, you guys like hop these fences. Now you're in the backyard of these different people. Some are well kept. Some are like very messy. Some have dogs and animals, but they are terrified of you guys as they like bark rapidly and all that kind of stuff. But by the time that you guys get through the backyard and the lights turn on, there no one really is able to see what's going on out there. Eventually, you hop through this sort of thing, and we'll say that that bloody crit is essentially what causes the dogs and animals to sort of like run for their life, because Hermes, this Ravenos sort of vampire, looks pretty gnarly as they essentially do parkour with your like Ravnosness, and eventually you get to the backyard that's closest to the house you need to get to, and you see that the battle is done. There are like local PD around. With your basic awareness, you can hear the local PD essentially just go like, shouldn't we be able to get in here? Like, what is your guys' jurisdiction here? Like, this is our investigation. And the FBI are like, I'm so sorry, sir, but this is a special thing. These gang members are someone we've been looking to for a while, and we're going to go ahead and take care of this. You do not have clearance. You've got to back up. And he's like, stupid FBI, as they all kind of like, all right, guys, let's get out of here. Let them do their thing. And as you look to these SWAT team members that are like, there's 2 armored trucks that are here and various like vehicles, black SUVs, unmarked SUVs, and various people here, you guys see this scene, and there's a lot going on here, and you can't quite see into the house too well. So if you'd like to, you can go ahead and do wits and awareness. Now I think, no, maybe that's not you guys. Maybe I think it was Harley. One of you guys might have enhanced senses or like heightened senses or whatever. If not, then gives you forward. Yeah.
I mean, that Axe body spray wrecked my nostrils. I'm pretty spent at this point. Are you kidding? You like hear like still trying to
It's
get it
worse than
out.
garlic.
So that way
Yeah.
oh, I can taste it.
Yeah.
And she's like spitting every every yard they hop over, like she's still like trying to expel Axe from her body.
Yeah. Nice.
True. It's like, does anybody have any gum? That
Yeah, right?
aftertaste.
Yeah.
Uh-uh. Perfect. So are we over?
You guys have not jumped over the fence yet. You are still hidden from everyone. If you'd like to, you can do a wits and awareness roll to be able to obtain more information, or use whatever other ability you'd like to. But from your basic senses, you can see that there are various like vehicles. The back of a truck is open currently. Eva, you specifically recognize the woman with true faith as she's walking into there. She looks like essentially like a nun and all that kind of stuff as she's going in, and like so she seems to have a lot of authority because all of these agents are bypass, like she's just parting the seas essentially as everyone makes way for her as she goes in. Hermes.
7 successes.
Oof. So 7 successes.
Dang.
Yeah, everyone's credit card number, their social security number. No, but, so
That's how we get them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in this time, you gaze as you listen to different conversations. You're like assessing the situation, and you do read the lips of people inside that are like all right. Now I actually need my document. Let me see here. Sister Hamilton requested that this body in particular to be marked, and because it's very important, for them to sort of check out. We have a location where it's going to be dropped off. We only have like about 10 minutes before we actually all head out and do this, so to get this cleared up as much as possible. And they kind of turn their head away, and you're unable to read their lips anymore. In other areas, you do see some piles of ash, as though some kindred were like just incinerated and just like killed and everything like that. And you see through one of the windows that a kindred is actually on the ground with a stake in their sort of chest and torpor. And in Vampire the Masquerade, you can be staked in the chest, and you go like into torpor where you just get paralyzed. You can still feel everything, you can see everything, you can hear everything, but you just can't move. Now I think one of you maybe has stake bait. I'm not sure. Actually, I think it was Harley's character. So you guys are all safe. So if you get staked, you're fine. But if yeah, so you've gathered this information. You can see that like the majority of major soldiers are heading back into the armored vehicles to get ready for transport, and now that's left there are the simple investigators and sort of like other sort of local PD that's been like in charge of just keeping people away from the sort of scene as local neighbors kind of like come out and ask questions and everything. What would you guys like to do here?
So just to reiterate, they have the Baron collected already. And they're just about
Correct.
to leave
Yeah, the
premises.
battle's over and he is already in the container and then being carted away. Yeah.
Okay.
Ivana, kind of nervously, but will pull out her phone, be like, I'm ready. You say when. I will tell Bruce to drive like a madman.
Look, I think maybe possibly I can burn this place to the ground metaphorically.
Oh,
Like we can just spook them, make it look like the car exploded.
No metaphor. Do it really. That would be fantastic.
No,
Just
because the Baron,
burn-
the Baron is in the. Because we could.
You like already have a Molotov lit and then like ready to.
They're like, oh, we're doing it. The sledgehammer's
Oh,
on
sure.
fire. Like, I'm ready to swing this
Oh
sucker
my
around.
god. So, as your storyteller, to offer you a little plot point, sort of thing, you know that soon, the vehicle oh no, actually, I already told you because Eva had the premonition. So you guys know where exactly the vehicle is going to be going to, which is to state insurance. Now you don't know the exact route that they're going to take, so that may be valuable valuable information to obtain to be able to think of this stuff. So number two, you do have gangs that are loyal to you. So if you wanted to try to ambush the vehicle while it's en route, you can summon one of your gangs to be able to meet you guys around here. One in particular is called not those ones. They are the Night Stalkers, and they're like essentially like the fifth strongest gang that you guys have. Not the best, but not the worst for sure. And they apparently were at a safe house in this sort of area. So if anyone were to be able to respond, it would probably be them. Now with your passive, insight, you don't know where their loyalties lie because you haven't had a chance to assess them, understand who they're working for, or anything like that. But you have this choice of like acting now while there's police, onlookers, these soldiers with vampire, weapons and everything like that, or waiting for the transport to begin their route and then ambush them on there, or whatever other thing you can think of here. But yeah.
could I use the insect crawl and do like underneath the van, like Cape Fear style?
Absolutely, yeah. So one, you would have to get there, so you're gonna have to do like a dexterity stealth check to be able to get over there. But I'm gonna say because you're insect cling, you can go ahead and use your blood sorcery instead of your like stealth. So you can go ahead and roll your like 3 blood sorcery and then your 2 dexterity if you want to. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 first. Okay. 6,
then-
8.
Yeah, and then you're gonna roll your 3. Now, before you do so, you can always talk to your group members, being like, "This is my plan. I think I can like get under the van to see where they are, and then be able to like strike then or whatever. That way, if they want to talk you out of it, they can, or you can just be like, I'm gone, and then just kind of like melt into the shadows, whichever you want to do. Yeah,
Oh no, I want to roll to see if I can do it. Just
sure. So,
mechanical wise, and then be like, "Hey guys, you want to see me be Spider-Man?"
so then now roll your 3 other dice because you had 2 successes, correct?
Yeah, 2 successes there.
Okay, and then roll your other 3. For this one, you're gonna need 3 successes or higher. So what'd you get?
7, 1, 4.
Okay, you're good. So with those two combined results, you're gonna have 3 successes and 2 failures. If you do this, you find a route that you are gonna be able to succeed. Now it's dark, it's nighttime. You know, you can slink in the shadows and climb like an insect and get underneath this vehicle if you wanted. So you tell the group with confidence, you know, I know how to get under the vehicle if we want to do that, and then yeah.
So I'll say, yeah. What do you two think? I can do it. And I know you guys hate this phone, but that GPS, if it's on me, you know where the van will be.
And
Yeah.
the other thing that you see, Hermes, with your 7 successes before, there are 2 individuals that strike you as being within range to interact with. Number one, there's one of the SWAT team soldiers that is actually like smoking like sort of a cigarette on the side, just like, you know, kind of complaining about his job and like, you know, whatever and all kind of stuff. Doesn't seem like the smartest individual, but he is apparently one of the soldiers that's going to get in one of the envoy essentially. And number two, you see that there is a crime scene investigator for these people that is kind of like over off to the side examining the outside of the house with like bullet holes really in the back corner of a house where no one else is, like kind of in the shadows. So if you did want to interact with either of these individuals, those are options that have information about what's going on if you'd like to. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get a little silly goofy.
Do it.
I would like to use Daunt on the
Okay.
investigator. And
What does that do?
That's
makes it
hardcore
scary.
intimidation. Yeah.
Oh,
That's like
do
supernatural
it.
intimidation. Yeah.
yeah. Um, you know what? You do that clinking spider business. I'm gonna get in the car. Trust me, that won't be a problem until it is a problem. But don't worry about it. And they just scuttle off with the power activated. Not necessarily like juggernaut, but striding with a purpose in that direction.
Sure. So, like, like a movie about vampires, you see Eva like skitter away, climbing on like the sides of things and on top of things, and you get in under the vehicle, and you find a way to like hold on, where it's not gonna, you know, hurt anything. So Hermes, you recognize that investigator that's like doing their thing. They seem very mild mannered. They don't seem super strong of character or confidence, at least from first glance. So you stride over to be able to like hop the fence and like address them and all that kind of stuff. Ivana, would you like to be an onlooker or would you like to do anything in particular here?
I would like to keep an eye on Hermes holding that sledgehammer in case there happens to be a problem. Then Ivana will become the new problem.
It's like it's hammer time as you just go ahead and
Yeah.
rush forward.
Just
So
leaping down from the skies above, like
exactly.
Thor, you know? Yeah.
So, Hermes, you are here with this investigator that they have not. Well, go ahead and roll me a dexterity stealth, unless you want to use silence of death or whatever, you know, cloak of shadows, whatever you want to use.
I honestly I didn't pick up Cloak of Shadows. I should have. Oh, I have Silence of Death. So yeah, I am approaching without a noise. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's totally a heart attack as like they swing their arm around this person like they're a long lost friend and just giving them a little jostle. Uh, hey man, how you doing?
Perfect. And then, what daunt ability are you going to do, or are you just going to talk with them normally?
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk with them.
Okay. They look to you and they get like just spooked, and they look to you and go like, I don't know you. You shouldn't be here. This is not like. And he doesn't. You know, you see him being like, what can I say? As he goes like, this is FBI stuff. As he.
Yeah. I know, and you know who else shouldn't be here? Just as a guess, you really shouldn't fucking be here. You should like just give me your shit and go. And that's when I activate Daunt.
Daunt. Okay, perfect. So go ahead and roll your manipulation, intimidation, or charisma intimidation, and then add daunts, sort of to that as well. Whatever you like to do. Let me go ahead and roll for the 2 dice that this person has. 1 success to his credit.
Well, that's great because I don't have any intimidation, but with this, with the presence Daunt,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take half for 3.
For 3, okay. So with 3, you were able to activate your daunt as like the shadows sort of bend and the tension fills the air in a supernatural way. And he looks to you like with his mouth just like his jaw dropping in fear, and he goes like, "You're as he can't even finish the sentence as his eyes go wide, and he's putty in your hands. What would you like to say or do?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna need that identification real quick and just make this really easy for the both of us.
And he looks to you and just goes like, "I'll tell you anything. Like it's my first day here. I don't want to die for this. I just like the benefits were great,
You're
so
not
that's
gonna
why."
die if you listen to me. All I'm asking is for that fancy badge, and you get to walk away scot free.
And he goes, "Sure." As he like immediately takes it off and hands it to you. Not only that, but he seems to have a tablet that he's documenting a lot of information sort of on. And it's you clearly see that he's from the Special Affairs Division, which is the specific department that works on hunting vampires and all that kind of stuff. So you notice the tablet might be of interest to you if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be taking that too. We don't need you to leaving any notes for us.
And he was like, "Of course, yeah, go for it." As he like hands it over to you, and he's like, he's already peed himself, and he's like just like clambered against the wall. Yeah.
All right, sport, go get yourself cleaned up. I'll take care of this. Bye. And just like turns around, and in mid-turn, I would like to use Fata Morgana again to transform into him.
Okay.
So I did read it this time. I got my hooked on phonics, and essentially it increases in difficulty by the number of senses you want to use.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. So audio, visual, smell,
yes.
all that. So yeah.
So I'm going with audio, visual, and possibly touch. So that would be difficulty 4 altogether.
Sure.
And I'm gonna give that a roll. All right. Oh,
and again, you guys have a lot of things going for you. You have a reroll. You have let it happen. You have all these sort of things if you want to use it. Yeah.
I get a little hungry. I'm gonna roll for the last time I use it just to be fair. Okay, I didn't that time. All right, and then that roll
Billy's looking like a snack as he's like terrified, and he's like, I should have gone to dental school like my mother told me. As he kind of like is just questioning his life's choices. Yeah.
Okay, it is manipulation and my obfuscate, which is 3. Toughen this out so I can write number dice. Okay, that is 5 successes.
Okay, so with 5 successes, you transform yourself to look like Billy here. As you are just this first day on the job, mild-mannered sort of investigator. As you walk around the house, no one pays you any mind at all. And yeah, so what is it that you would like to do with this stuff? There is still the soldier that's off to the side that is still smoking a cigarette and just kind of like, murmuring about his job. There's the inside where you see that some of the containers are being loaded into the actual armored sort of truck and everything like that. And however, you do notice in the house is this nun, this apparently from what Eva has said, this person from the Saints of Leopold that has true faith. And you have an inkling that, well, actually, do you have occults like in your skills, like any points in occult?
I don't.
Okay. She's just a nun, like she's just whatever, like she's probably gonna fall for your stuff just like everyone else.
Yeah, totally. I do like position myself like in whatever direction Ivana was like. She's like all these big grand gestures that wouldn't be known from like this mousy little guy, and then like recompose themselves and walk over to the soldier.
Sure. You walk over to the soldier, no problem at all, as he's like finishing sort of his cigarette and like flicking it as he stomps it out, and he turns and goes like, "You need help with something? Did you already got the wiggles on your first day?" As he kind of like looks over to you.
I could be doing it a lot better, but I'm just now that we have the people things the blank whatevers. Would it be possible for me to just go ahead and just wait in one of the cars, or is there anything I need to inspect? I think I got everything inspected.
Go ahead and do a charisma and performance or persuasion or whatever you want to roll for this.
Okay. I'll take charisma persuasion.
Sure. As he looks to you and is like, he just scoffs at like how pathetic you are, essentially. Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay, that's a reroll actually.
Pop that willpower and then go to re-roll it. Now, Ivana, you kind of recognize that this might turn out to a situation where Hermes might actually be able to get into the actual armored truck, and Eva is underneath the said truck as well. So somehow, some way, you're going to need to be able to get to them. Now, granted, you have Bruce waiting on standby for your message to be able to contact them. So you could do a situation where you do that distraction, run over to the armored truck and get it, try to hop onto it, or you just get into your car and then follow them, and then when it's time to strike, be able to go and do that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing to consider is that when it's time to strike for this sort of ambush, is it just going to be the three of you, or are you going to call for backup from like one of the gangs to assist you? Now, if you keep it to the three of you, that's 3 people versus like 12 soldiers essentially from these 2 like armored sort of trucks. But the information is sealed tight, where it's just you guys who knows about this. Now, if you reach out to the gang, that's a lot of people that are going to come to your defense. And what their politics are can really, you're not sure, but you can cross that bridge, when you get to it, sort of thing. Also, it's the Baron. So if the Baron wakes up, then all arguments are done. Because, yeah.
Got it. Ivana would lead to say it just stays the 3 of us, but can easily be outvoted.
And we're going to say you guys could have had this conversation retroactively, so before you split up. So what would you like to do in that regard?
I think Hermes would want to keep this between the 3 of them.
Okay. And then Eva's also in agreement? Sure. Okay. So you guys have decided to take this on your own, essentially. Perfect. So going back into this sort of scene, you rolled how many successes, Hermes, for that?
4.
4? With those 4, he looks to you and goes like, listen, go ahead and do it. That's totally fine. They're already like, trust me, when they have those bits of wood in their chest, they can't do anything. They can, I hear that they can hear and they can feel and they can touch, but they can't do anything. So you're totally safe. But if you want to go to, hang out in there, we got automatic weapons and all that sort of stuff. So like, but only recommendation, don't sit next to Sister Hamilton, because those Saints of Leopold people are really weird. So just, if you don't want the wiggles, don't sit next to her. Get it stayed in my envoy, essentially. And there's 2 envoys, armored trucks. One has the containers where Sister Hamilton's going to be in, and the other one are just with soldiers that are going to follow them.
I mean, I'll take the risk with Hamilton. Ain't that the musical anyway? I'm just going. I do want, for documentation purposes, is there like a code, or would it be too late to just see the thing with the stake? Or is that too much to ask? It's morbid curiosity, I know, but I just, when's the last time you heard that Dracula's real?
So he goes like, sorry, if you haven't seen it by now, you missed your chance, because as he looks over, he points over and the containers are being loaded into the actual like truck. As you hear Sister Hamilton be like, we're rolling out, everyone get ready, and we're gonna get out of here. As the soldiers all like perk up and immediately begin to like hustle over, and he goes, it's showtime. Do you want to stick with us, because we're gonna all watch Bridgerton, and we're all obsessed with it, or do you want to go into the other track?
No, I end up seeing a spoiler who Lady Whistledown actually was, and I don't want to like ruin anybody's day. I'll take my chances with the Leah Land, yeah. And like kind of amble over that way to the
That's
other.
fine. Your anxiety, as All of you essentially get into your different areas. As you go ahead and get into the first armored truck, you see the containers, and there's only a handful of soldiers that are in here. This truck, as well as the sister, as she is like she's specifically in front of the Baron's sort of container, as she looks to it and she's murmuring something, as she has her Bible and her cross, and she's like really intense in it. Now, Eva, did you want to be under the container truck or did you want to be under the soldier truck?
I was under the container truck.
Okay,
So
yeah. So two people are underneath, in this sort of like area. Now, Ivana, you are watching this from the distance, and you see that your companions have made it in there. As you see that Billy in the background is like vomiting and like freaking out still, and all that kind of stuff. And so, what would you like to do in this time?
Right. And Ivana's just like muttering to herself, yeah, just leave Ivana behind. It'll be fine. She'll figure out what she needs to do all by herself every single time. Oh, Ivana, just use your phone because you're so good at that and being able to track people. That'll be a fantastic idea. No one ever runs ideas by Ivana first. And in this complaint, seeing this one that seems rather sickly and behind, I, I'd like to try to sneak into perhaps one of the uh, last cars
Mhm.
kind of departing, hopefully being the one of the vomiting person where I'd like to try to take them out and then take their car to be able to follow in through the back.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. So, to do the stealth check, you're going to do dexterity and stealth to try to sneak through. Otherwise, you can go
Perfect.
ahead and do wits and awareness to assess the sort of situation and see if there might be another vehicle you can get or whatever you sort of want to do. Yeah. And you also have Bruce.
Okay.
Worst case, you can be like, "I'm scared. Mom, pick me up." As
Yes.
go ahead.
So I only have one black dot for dexterity and zero for stealth. That's
So,
great.
you're gonna fail if you attempt. Now, no, there's nothing that can save you because in this situation, there's a lot of soldiers that are sort of around here, and even if the
Okay.
two trucks like head out, there's still local law
Yeah.
enforcement and some stragglers that are going to be left to behind
Mm,
here. So there may be another
okay.
a way that you can handle this if you'd like to. Worst case, your auto success is Bruce, but if you want to get more information or steal one of the uniforms of the soldiers and try to put that on, or what have you, can try to do something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to steal one of the uniforms. Right. See how lucky we can get and see if we can fit into one of those.
Sure. You see that outside of the in the backyard of this sort of house that's had all this chaos
Yeah.
happen to it. You see that there is a female soldier of conveniently your height, your build, all that sort of stuff that comes
Perfect.
out and goes like, "Oh my God, Billy, are you okay? Like, did you piss yourself?" As she like heads over to him and like puts her gun on the ground and goes like, "Listen, what you
Thank
got to
you.
do is you got to feel four things, like four different textures, and it's gonna help you get rid of your panic attack. I get them every so often." And they're just having this sort of like sort of heart to heart. What would you like to do?
Yeah. May the Baron bless this moment. In one of those, we're going to so the woman is going over to reach to Billy, who's
Yeah,
throwing up right now.
and
That's the
she no
idea. So
longer has
there's
her
two of
gun as
them.
she's put it on the ground and she's like
Okay.
focused on Billy, like kneeling down. Yeah.
Is it possible to do the classic coconut where you smash both heads together to do a double knockout?
I mean, absolutely. If you score high enough, then yes.
That is what I would
Uh,
like to try to do.
you do have a rather large sledgehammer-sized coconut.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to use that as well, you can. Or if you just want to like bash them together with your physical self, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the physical bash just to like an intense final kiss between the two of them, and then we're out.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your strength and your brawl. So that's going to be 6 dice.
All right. I like those numbers. Okay. Yeah, not great numbers. I think only one is a success. The other, yeah, 4, 1, 2, 1, 9, 1.
Okay, so that's a situation where you want to pop a willpower and re-roll 3.
Yep, we're
Uh,
gonna, yeah. Let's, I'm gonna take rid of those ones. And 2, 5, and an 8.
2, 5,
So,
8. So
so only two successes.
only 2 successes. Okay, so if you want to, you can burn the group's like re-roll 1 to try to do that, or you can pop another willpower if you'd like to.
Crew, may I use the reroll?
yeah.
Thanks. It's an 8. Okay,
Okay,
good.
good.
We're
So
good. Thank
3 was
goodness
the
it
number to
wasn't
beat
worth it.
because they got 2 successes. So you see that this woman is coming over to
Yvonne is just
Billy.
flustered.
Yeah, and she even takes off her helmet and everything like that to be like, listen, Billy, look
Yeah.
at me, everything's gonna be okay. And he goes like, no, it's not gonna be okay because. And at that moment, you come from the
Mhm.
shadows and just get a big grip on both the back of their heads and they just bash. Now with 3 successes from a vampire, that's pretty intense. Is your intent to kill or is it to just knock out?
Knockout at this
Okay.
moment. Like, I'm assuming she'll probably think she tripped over her feet and just fell and hit her head on Billy's, and like that's all they'll ever remember. So I'm not gonna try to hide it or anything.
Okay, so you hop over this fence, you use your vampiric strength, and you're able to get this special affairs division member and this like crime scene investigator and bash them together, interrupting their tender meet cute moment. That and everything. So they both knock out like tremendously. Their nose is broken and everything like that as they're just like on the ground. And sure enough, you're able to swap outfits. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much, Transplanter RPG. You guys are amazing. I hope your first episode of the Chaos Protocol was good. I'm so excited to watch the VOD later. And yes, so in this time, you swap gear really quickly and you look like a soldier. It feels disgusting to be able to wear the uniform of a special affairs division because you look like the enemy. And as this
Yeah.
sort of happens, you get her weapon that you had, which now your name is Nina, and you have your uniform. You put it over your head. Thankfully, it's like a mask and a helmet combo and everything like that. And at this time, you walk around the sort of house and you see the other soldiers being like, Nina, get over here! Like we're good, we're leaving, we're waiting for you. And would you like to say anything? Now you don't have any illusions, you don't have anything like
No.
that, so you gotta like be mute essentially and
Mhm.
be like, so
Uh, and I'm like also kind of being really stiff with my right leg as I try to use it to hide my sledgehammer that I'm trying to sneak along with me as well.
are you serious? Like, like what is that? A souvenir? As they kind of like,
Be like, the war.
yeah, the war. Yeah, there you go.
Get all
We're gonna say
pretty.
they allow it. They're like, okay, whatever, just get in here. As you pile in, as you go like, as you pile into this envoy, and they're like, all right, everyone ready? All right, cool. As they go ahead and take out one of the laptops and just start playing Bridgerton, like, and they just all like watch it sort of together, and like they're just waiting. You hear the radios chatter, being like, Envoy Bravo, we're beginning to like we're ready for departure, heading out now en route, and everything. And then from the first sort of armored truck, you hear them sort of reply, being like, Roger that, Envoy Bravo is also en route to help out. Heading to destination now. As you see that in both trucks there are iPads that showcase their GPS, as they're heading to the route and all that kind of stuff. Now, at what moment would you guys like to strike and like get through all this sort of stuff? Now, I will give you some help as your storyteller. You can go ahead and do a check, like whether it be wits and awareness or like wits and streetwise or whatever the case might be, to figure out what the ideal time to interrupt this route might be. Yeah, and for you, Eva, you essentially can see like what's going on. So you can see if there's people around and all that kind of stuff because you're outside of the vehicle, underneath the vehicle, but still. Yeah. So by default, if you guys don't have a clear indication of when to strike is or anything like that, Eva is your backup here. Yeah.
I do have a question. In like
Sure.
the order of the cars, where is the quote unquote cargo?
The containers,
Car?
they are
Yeah,
leading it.
containers.
Yeah. So they're
Okay.
Alpha, and then the soldier envoy is Bravo. So they're following close behind. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool.
So I'm in Bravo, yeah?
Correct. Now I am going
How
to tell
many
you.
how many friends do I have with me in this car?
You have 7 people with you in this the back of this vehicle. Yeah, and they're all like,
Wow.
yeah, and they're all like, just like, I love all these characters. I didn't know I was a high society fan until this moment. Like as they're all just kind of like chatting about the show and they're super into it. And then yeah.
Every now and then Ivana's like, mm-hmm.
You're like,
Ah. Whenever I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. Comes on the screen, go.
they're like, I know, right? I feel like something's awakening in me. It's like they all just kind of. So, what did you guys roll for your wits and awareness or whatever checks to see when might be the most ideal time to strike?
And is Eva rolling too? At this point, it's just waiting to like see.
Yeah, right now you kind of see that there are a good amount of cars that are around you at this point. Even some police vehicles that are kind of just like coincidentally in the same area but are peeling off. And so if you were to strike right now, you know that it's like, there's quite a few witnesses that would be here and be able to see. And you're not that far from the actual point. So if anything happened, they would immediately rush over and be able to, help out and all that. So what are your rolls?
I got 6 successes.
6? Okay, that's great. And then Ivana?
2.
2. Yeah, Ivana, you're if you haven't noticed by now, you're the muscle of the group. So like when things go down, that's when
I'm really interested in Bridgerton now, okay?
Exactly. Yeah, you're actually like hyper fixated on it. You're like, oh my god, this is a great show. It's like, and then so at this time, 6 successes. You realize that from your knowledge of the surrounding area of Phoenix, Arizona, and everything like that, they're going to be heading to a place that has a very vacant sort of area. The route they're going is to avoid other cars and all that kind of stuff. They don't want to be in the public apparently, and there's going to be a point where it's like essentially a dead zone where there's not a lot of people around at all, and that's the time to strike. Now, how you communicate that or what you do to initiate this sort of like ambush is totally up to you. And if you want to, you guys could have retroactively decided that like when I go caw, that means we're gonna strike, or like whatever the signal is. Yeah.
I think maybe with my phone on me, assuming that they've been still kind of tracking my location. They know that I haven't left. I'm still just like playing. I feel like those like Garfields, like with the suction cups in the back of the car.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Dun, 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 yeah.
So like I'm still there. I think I would try to find like the tones that are just like the beeping.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bomb.
Yeah.
Beeping. Yeah. Leave my phone. I'm gonna take one for the team. Sacrifice my phone and just like put it up in like the wheel well of the van truck, and I can skitter to whatever side it's obstructed by.
Sure.
You.
And I will also remind you that you do have corrosive vitae. So if this fails, or if you want to change plans, you could always turn your blood into acid and then affect the vehicle to make it, stop, or whatever you like to do. So if you want to do the phone one, you're going to go ahead and do your charisma or manipulation and performance to be able to set it up in a way that'll attract attention from the drivers and everything, because you do hear that their windows are essentially down, as you can even hear them tapping on the side of the vehicle or like just chattering and all that kind of stuff. So they would be able to hear the sound if you wanted to go that route. If you wanted to go the corrosive vitae route, you're going to have to roll a rouse check and risk getting more hunger if you want to do that. Yeah,
we'll do the phone first, and then if
okay.
things get weird, then I'll turn on the battery acid. So
sure. Yeah, it's going to be your charisma or manipulation. So in your case, I would recommend charisma. And then performance is going to be 2. So you're going to go ahead and do 4 dice.
Nice. 7, 10, 2, 9. So.
Nice. Okay. Good. With 3 successes, you place it under the vehicle. You turn the volume as loud as possible. Maybe even find like a YouTube video about a bomb, like the sounds of one or whatever, and it plays off. As you immediately hear one of them be like, wait, stop talking, turn off the radio, and like, I think I hear something. As like, are you serious? Like, like we're gonna get in major trouble if this is a false alarm. Like, you know that, Steve, right? And he's like, I understand that, but like I hear something. I swear to God. As like, all right, as you see the envoy pull over now in the back of the cargo hold, essentially, you feel everyone shift as they're suddenly like stopping and like coming to this. As you hear Sister Hamilton go like, "What is this? Like, we're not supposed to stop until we get there." As she like smacking the front of it, and they're like, "I'm sorry, Sister Hamilton, but like we hear something, we have to investigate." As they're like, "Fine, just make it quick." As they kind of like radio to the other car and be like, Bravo, we actually found an issue, we're going to investigate really quick. And like, do you need our assistance? Like, negative, we're going to check it out really quick and let you know. As Ivana, you're like sweating bullets, and if vampires could sweat. And oh, that's the other thing really quick. Ivana, did you want to do Blush of Life? So Blush of Life is where you rouse the blood to make yourself look human. Otherwise, you're very pale and like very cold, and you like never blink. And yeah.
Are there? Is it dim lights, or is it like? No, I definitely need to turn the human on.
You know what? I will tell you this: that you do have a mask and helmet on, so the only thing they can really see is your eyes. It's not a major thing.
Which is, and everyone's focused on watching Bridgerton, so I think I'll be.
That
fine.
is correct, and no one else has blinked either, as they're like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. Yeah, you can't miss a moment. No, that's fair. Okay, we're good then. Thank goodness for Bridgerton.
Okay, good.
This is the backup weapon we should have brought. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So they've stopped. Now, Eva, what would you like to do in this time? As you hear them get out of the vehicle, the door kind of opens, and one of the two that are in the front begin to check the source of this sort of sound. Yeah.
How many are inside in total?
You don't know. That's inside of the vehicle. You have no idea, but you do know there's one in the driver's seat and one in the passenger seat.
At least two. Well, with my just advanced hearing,
Mm-hmm.
can I listen to heartbeats?
Sure. Go and do wits and awareness.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Are we like seated with the containers?
Correct. Yeah. So they're taking up half the little like back area and leaving you with only like you, two other like sort of soldiers, and then the Sister Hamilton. Yeah.
Okay. I know you mentioned that there's like an assault rifle in the back, like weapons there.
Correct. Yeah.
Hypothetical, above game.
Mhm.
How silly goofy are we feeling? Because Hermes could take one of the weapons and shoot the door open. Shoot the door open and like,
You're like, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now
do
you have
it.
a let it happen. So that means you auto success on whatever you want to try. So if you want to do it, you could do it. Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good plan.
I like it.
All right, then that's what I want to do.
Sure. Okay. So you see some backup weapons that are there. So in all the soldiers, you see them like lean over and be like, "I heard they listen to Bridgerton in the other truck. Man, it sucks for us." As like they like kind of like are bummed about it. And you see that there are shotguns, pistols, and a couple other things, just to be able to help out with whatever they might need. What is it that you grab, and who do you shoot at, or what do you shoot at? Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you choose to shoot at a person, you're going to do like max damage because you have that let it happen sort of thing. So if you wanted to take down one of the soldiers, Sister Hamilton, or like whatever, this is your prime opportunity to do so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know gun breeds exactly. I just know shoot, shoot, pew, pew. I do want to take out Sister Hamilton
Sure.
as a giggle.
With your awareness, you definitely know that of these guns, it seems like the shotgun in such a close proximity is like the best thing you could do, and it's the closest to you right now. And yeah, do you want to do that?
Yes.
All right. So, taking out one of the BBEGs from this campaign. Let's see what this nun has. 5 HP. Okay, good. So, you go ahead and immediately, like it stops. You hear the sounds of them getting out of the car to go and check, and you know that they're going to find Eva somewhat soon. Unless she does something, sort of major. So with this moment, you go ahead and grab for the shotgun, and you go ahead and like cock it or whatever, they sort of do, and then you end up pointing as everyone freaks out, like, Billy, what are you doing? As you point to Sister Hamilton, and Sister Hamilton looks to you, and you could feel her looking into your very soul as she goes like, this is this is not Billy, as she holds up her cross, and as she does so, your illusion fades, showcasing your true form. But the shotgun goes off as you immediately hit her, and she has a huge hole in her chest as she just clangs against the thing, and everyone's freaking out. And the radio immediately goes off, being like, "We're hearing sounds from the other truck. Like, what's going on? Please respond." As there's chaos. So we're gonna go in initiative order. So does anyone have celerity amongst you guys for your disciplines?
I do not.
Celerity? Wait, that's celerity? That's mine, I think.
Okay, so celerity means you can move at abnormal speeds. So we're going to go with you first, Ivana. So how Vampire the Masquerade works is that you get to do something, they get to do something in response. If you get a tie, whoever's turn it was succeeds in that. So Ivana, what would you like to do as you're in this thing? They pause Bridgerton as they're wondering, is this go time? What's happening? And yeah.
Okay. That's where I'm gonna pull out that sledgehammer. It's a
Perfect.
short space, so the immediate just swinging it up would be my initial action, as I'd like to take out the one to my right and then focus on my left.
Sure. Okay. So what you're gonna do is the same thing. You're gonna go ahead and roll your strength, and then this time you're actually gonna do melee. So let me see here. That's gonna be strength and
So
melee.
5.
Yeah, 5 dice. Yeah. But the thing is, you have a sledgehammer, so you automatically get a +2. So it's whatever your success is +2.
Oh, okay. Well, then all 5 are then a success.
Oh God. Okay. So
Right? Yeah.
do you have 2 10s in there by any chance?
No.
Okay. They're fine.
9s are the
So-
highest. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. So you take your sledgehammer and it's go time as you move abnormally fast, and you just smash the head of hey, did I tell you that
Finally!
and then you see one of the guys that's next to you be like, did I tell you that Derek proposed to me? And then you just slash, bash into him, and then he is dead and gone as they're like,
Oh no!
oh my
Derek.
God, as they're freaking out, and they
Who's gonna tell Derek?
do you say that after you do that? You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
The blood splatter goes onto my mask, and you can see just the flash in my eyes, who's gonna tell
So
Derek?
it's essentially the worst case scenario because you're in body armor, legit body armor, and you
Yeah.
are in the back of this thing as they're freaking out, trying to scramble for their sort of weapon. So next one up, what is your guys' dexterity between Eva and Hermes? So 2, and then Eva? 2? Okay. So both of you. So because Hermes went, we're gonna go ahead and have Eva go next. You were underneath this car. You see that the soldier that was going to look over, maybe he even does, he looks under the car, but he looks away, to do it. Is there anything to do here, whether it be to get out from under, attack him, or what have you?
I mean, once I hear the buttas from the other van,
Yeah.
it's game over. So I'm gonna do an intense grab his head, neck, whatever I can get at that point, and just rip him out of the
Sure.
car and just throw him. He might
Okay.
lose a limb in the process, but these things happen.
These things happen. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead. Now you have a knife on you. So one of the things you could do is your strength and your knife, which will give you a +2 to whatever you roll. Alternatively, you can go ahead and do your corrosive vitae, which is kind of your go-to if you want to. Now the deal is if you activate it once and you have it for the whole scene, so it's not every time you want to use it you have to keep doing hunger checks. The moment you use it, you just throw acid at everyone essentially throughout the whole scene. So as your storyteller, I would recommend that, but if you do want to go for the melee sort of grab, I will give you a bonus if you want to do that. So what would you like to do
In this moment, because this is all happening, so I'm kind of crawling on the car,
Yeah.
I'm coming up, so I'm not going to channel that at this point.
Sure.
And I don't know how many people. There's a certain amount, because I feel listening to the heartbeats, I'd be able to count how many
Yeah.
were inside. But in this case, this is just going to be a quick grab, and
Okay.
I'm going to rip him out of the van and then save the rest for once I get inside.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and do. You're gonna roll 3, and then you're gonna whatever successes you get, you're gonna +2 to it. So it'll be your dexterity and melee.
Okay. So total would be 17.
For your dexterity and then melee. Um, so go ahead and go to roll 3 dice.
Three dice plus two.
Uh, yeah. So sorry, go to roll 3 dice really quick, and then see what the results are.
Okay, that was 8, 5, 2 of 15 total.
Oh, 852. Okay, so you have 1 success here. You need 1 more. Do you want to spend a willpower to re-roll those 2 dice?
Yes.
Okay. So go to roll the 2d10s and then see if they're a 6 or above. And it's on the die individually, not the added total to it.
Oh, not total. Okay.
Yeah.
When you said the +2 because of the knife, I didn't know that.
No, you're good.
Okay,
You're good. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. 4 and a 7.
4, 7. Okay, so that's another success. So you have that 7 and that original success. So with this, so that means you have 4 total because of your knife. So with that, you leap onto them. Describe to me what you do to the soldier as they're like checking on their buddies. They're looking, trying to under the car, and then they get distracted, and you leap on them with your knife. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think the first thing would be just to grab like the not like the scruff of your neck, but
Yeah.
like where you lift like the back of the shirt just to kind of get him off balance up and out because he's looking out of the car door. Yes.
Yeah.
Like out of the window. So yeah, I'll do that grab. If I can't completely yank him out with vampire strong arm,
Yeah.
if he doesn't come all the way clean out, then I'm going to slit his throat.
Sure. With those successes, you absolutely throw him out of the vehicle and he's on the ground. So you have the choice. Do you want to make this a lethal attack or a non-lethal? Where you just end him here and then move on to the next one, or let him live and just have him be like knocked out.
Yeah, if he's just knocked out, I'm on to the next.
Okay, perfect. So
he's down. Yeah.
Yeah, so you see this guy who's like investigating, was going to investigate underneath the car, and then the moment everything sort of happens, you strike and then take him and throw him out, and then like knock him out, and then the guy inside the vehicle that was the driver is like, what's going on? As you're like, oh shit, as you hear him unbuckling his seatbelt and everything, and then we're gonna go back to Hermes really quick, and then we'll go to everyone else for the soldiers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Now that I've made a Holy Mary out of Sister Hamilton, I want to blow the door open. Just like.
Sure. You turn to the door. It's right there. No check needed. You burst it open as it flies, sort of like open and clatters. And you see everyone else like freaking out and like shielding themselves as they're fishing sort of for their weapons. You can do one other action if you'd like to, because that one was like easy. Yeah.
I want to kick the Baron's container out into the street.
Sure. Go ahead and do a strength and athletics to be able to grab it and then pull it out.
Okay, I'm gonna blood buff my strength.
Go for it. So if you guys want to, you guys have an ability that is like a blood surge where you guys can do a rouse check. So you might get hungrier, but for the rest of the sort of session, you can go ahead and scene. You can have one more die in your dice pool for a particular sort of like activity sort of thing. Yeah, so it's like make yourself a little bit stronger temporarily.
Hello, big money, no whammies. I'm gonna run out of willpower. That's gonna be so funny.
Well, I mean, the
Who needs
priest
it?
is dead, so it's not like
2 successes.
2 successes? Okay. So with 2 successes, you reach over for the container and you grab it, and it's enough to get it to like fall over and out. It's not like the most graceful, but it's still, out of the vehicle as they're like, she's going for the container, shit, as they're like freaking out. So now it's the soldier's time. So in this time, the driver is the first one to like get out of the vehicle and then head over, and in time to see like Eva like just barely knocked out the sort of like soldier, and he's gonna take out a pistol and then try to fire sort of at you. So how combat works in Vampire the Masquerade is that you guys both get like action reaction. So he's going to try to attack you. So that means you can react by attacking him back, or trying to dodge, or even using one of your abilities. So uh, he's going to roll his dice, and then what would you like to do, Eva? Strike him with his knife, or use one of your blood magic, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll activate the corrosive tank.
Vite? Okay, sure. So go and do your rouse check just to see if you get any more hungry. Thankfully, there's a lot of people here, so if you need to feed, it won't be too bad, yeah.
Okay. And I was back down to, because I fed on the other guy again, so just
Correct,
the one.
yep.
9.
9? Okay, good. So you don't get any more hungry. And then you are doing the corrosive vitae. Let's clean up the insect. Yeah, so go ahead and roll me really quick. Your resolve and your blood sorcery. So that'll be 6 dice.
Five, 7, 6, 3, 9, 10.
Oof. Okay, so 4 successes. That's great. So with them, they only got 2 successes. So they're freaking out at this point as they rush over and they have their gun and they're pointing it at you, and they're firing like haphazardly. And one hits the ground, maybe one accidentally hits his buddy, and you turn around and use your knife and maybe like stab it into your leg just to get blood flowing. And you use this blood and then throw it onto them as it goes into their face, and it begins to just eat away at their gear and blinds them as they freak out and kind of like are badly wounded. So meanwhile, in for Hermes, you've like gotten the Baron's container out of this vehicle, and you have the shotgun in hand. It's like an assault shotgun, so it had more rounds sort of in our shells or whatever. But one of the soldiers, which is the quickest, goes ahead and gets their like assault rifle and then aims it sort of towards you and begins to fire. So you have the reaction. So what is it that you'd like to do in this time?
Is it possible to use the container as a shield and possibly get it shot open? Like, I don't know how much damage
try
that
to
would
hide
happen.
behind it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's go and do athletics dexterity from you, to be able to try to like dodge and hide, but using it as cover. And oof, these are like Craigslist soldiers. Oh my gosh! So they got 2 successes. So
Well, I got 0. Good for them.
okay, do you want to spend anything? Or just take it?
Oh, right. Well, that's 2. So let's see. Yeah, no.
No? Okay. So, in this time, they get their assault rifle and they fire it at you, and the bullets just go flying at a very fast rate of speed, and you hide behind the container. To your credit, the container does take some of the bullets, and you see it clang open a little bit from this these attacks and everything. But you also get impacted. Thankfully, these bullets are normal bullets, not incendiary rounds, not anything sort of vampire hunter special. So you are going to take 3 superficial damage from this. So and for the new players, whatever your health is, you have 2 types of health: superficial and aggravated. So when your superficial, goes all the way to max, you start getting aggravated, and every point of damage after that is aggravated. If you get hit with something really intense, it goes straight to aggravated. So normal bullets are going to be superficial to you guys. So meanwhile, in the other truck with Ivana, you've used a sledgehammer, and there's just splatter on the wall and everything like that, as the fastest acting in this vehicle takes out their assault rifle as well and aims it towards you. Now, for you, Ivana, because you're a Ventru, you have the ability of resilience, I believe it is. So if you want to activate it, that means you turn your essential skin into a much harder, more dense material, taking less damage from attacks and everything. Do you want to activate that ability?
How hard would it be in comparison to pick up the buddy that I just smashed the head in and use that as a shield?
If you want to, that's fine. Yeah.
Let's opt for that and maintain the potential human-esque elements. That is probably very much spoiled at this
And
point.
sorry, it's toughness actually. Did you want to activate your toughness in this to make you more resistant to damage?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the shield, buddy.
Okay, that works. Yeah. And so in this time, you go ahead and hold him up. So you're going to use your strength and athletics to just get his body and then pick up his gear and then try to take the bullets. They're going to fire at you. 2 successes again.
3 successes.
Okay, so you succeed in this. So you have enough time to pick up the dead body of the soldier, lift it up, and his body armor, just absorbs the attacks here. So Eva's safe outside the truck because she's sort of like dealt with her 2 combatants. Meanwhile, Hermes, you have one more person that's trying to attack you. How would you like to react? Just kind of like hide again, or do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stick my hand into the little crack and try to claw machine that steak out of the bear.
Stake out? Yeah, go ahead and do a dexterity athletics to just fish around for it. Alternatively, you can do wits and awareness to find it first, and then your next turn, take it out if you'd like to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the risk with the wits awareness. Oh,
Okay.
boy.
And they got 2 successes again.
Okay, that's a crit, so
Oh,
Yay
okay.
me.
Well,
1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 success. Oh no, 9 successes.
Jesus. Okay. With that many successes, I will let you do both things at one time. As they like watch as you take some of the hits, and they see that you are truly a supernatural being because you just took like a chest full of bullets and you're still going like nothing, and so they've kind of freak out and they've tried to fire, but like they get just kind of shoot the tires of the other truck and everything. And meanwhile, you look into their you see the stake, the like iron sort of stake that's in their chest, and you find it, and you now need a strength and athletics, and I'll let you do that roll right now to be able to pull it out from their chest. And then, meanwhile, Ivana, you're going to get attacked again. So if you want to use either the body again or attack them, you can choose to do so. And you even roll if you'd like to.
Yeah, can I? What is the name of the body I'm using here? I feel like they should at least be recognized.
You look and you said Roger. It says Roger.
Roger.
Like,
All right. At this point, can I use Roger as a throwing thing? And I'd like to toss the body of Roger at my attacker.
poor Roger. As strength athletics.
He's
Go ahead and roll it.
useful. Yeah.
And then,
Roger's doing the good work.
oh my god. And then, Hermes, what was your roll? 1? Okay, so you found it, but you don't have the strength to pull it out. Maybe it's like your own blood is like making it slippery or whatever, but you try to grab it and you maybe get it a little bit out, but you can't quite get the whole thing out as the Baron is just there with bullets in him and everything like that. And okay, so Ivana, what was
3 successes.
Okay, so they're gonna try to shoot you again. Big money, 3 successes. Okay, so it is their turn. So that means that they succeed in this. So you're gonna take 2 points of superficial damage. So an easy way to do it, is maybe get a piece of paper or whatever and just mark how many superficial you have. That way can keep track. So after that, it's gonna go straight back up to initiative order. So Ivana, you get the first attack on this. And then meanwhile on the outside, Eva and Hermes, you guys feel something coming, like a bit of rumbling on the road and like even the sounds of something. If you'd like to, you can do wits and awareness to try to identify more information. And then, so back to Ivana. You see
Yes.
that you're in here. What would you like to do?
Roger has failed me, so I would like to lunge and try to strangle the last one who attacked me.
Oof. All right. So
Yeah.
you are going to go ahead and do your strength and brawl. Now, because you have a specialty in grappling, you're automatically going to get an
Yes.
extra d10. So that's going to be 7 dice you're going to roll.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. I like that. I got a chance. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And,
6, 7.
You have to beat 3. So you have to get 3 or higher. 4? Okay.
4.
Good. You leap across this as you guys watch this other envoy truck is just like rocking back and forth as like you get over to this person and you got 4. You beat their 3.
Yeah.
So essentially, yeah.
It's like a weird like Titanic moment where you see like in the front window like a hand come up and like slide down, but it's covered
But
in
it's
blood
blood, and
instead.
then like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So you rush onto the soldier and you're beating the shit out of them essentially. You haven't killed them because their body armor and everything's protecting them, but
Hmm.
you're like causing a bunch of chaos as the van is rocking. They're trying to aim their weapons, but you're like pushing it all away and they can't quite do it. And like yeah. So meanwhile, for Hermes and Ivan or Eva, did you guys roll wits and awareness? And if so, what did you get? So 3. Okay.
Where is my wits and awareness?
Oh.
But I don't get my wits about me. Clearly. Okay.
Uh. You,
3.
Oh, 6. Oh my gosh. So you have 6 dice is for your wits and awareness for Eva. So you're very aware, actually. Yeah.
So,
So if you want to, you can always take half. If you want to, like, just get 3 successes automatically. Or you can go ahead and roll and see if you can get more, whichever you like.
yeah, I rolled and we're good. 2, 6, 10, 3, 6, 6. So
Okay, perfect. So yeah, both of you guys get these successes. So with this, you hear the sounds of motorcycles that are approaching en masse, and as they do so, they turn sort of in down this road, and you see that it's actually the Faceless Ones. There's this gang of anarchs that are looking to overthrow the Baron and like ensure that they don't succeed or survive or anything like that, and they have arrived here. Now, a couple things happen as these soldiers pile out to attack Hermes and like everything like that. You see that they immediately lunge on them. They start attacking and taking out like to help you guys out in dealing with them. So allies have shown up now. How long they remain allies or whatever it is, yeah, is up to that. But you can see that. So Ivana is beating people up in the back of that truck. So we're gonna go to Eva. So what would you like to do, Eva, as you see these motorcycles come in, and you all see these soldiers that are also trying to like shoot at you guys? Yeah.
about how many soldiers?
Right now, there's about 9 soldiers, and there seems to be about 20 gang members that have shown up.
Okay, so at least for the soldiers, we got. I feel like we need to tackle like one at a time. Can I bite my own tongue and spit acid at them?
Absolutely, yeah. You can essentially bloodbending, so you like have the blood flowing from you, and you just take it and you just do whatever you want with it, and you can also spit it at them. So, and are you attacking the soldiers or are you attacking the gang members? Just for clarification.
I want to take out all of the soldiers
Okay.
first. Yeah, I feel like my crew. Well, we can handle the motorcycle gang.
Sure. As you as you hear the sounds of the soldiers getting out and then being like, "Oh shit, there's more of them!" as they're like freaking out, and one of them doesn't even see you as you approach to them. So they're not going to attack you in this time. So go ahead and roll your 6 dice for your resolve and your blood sorcery to throw your blood on them or spit your blood on them. And you need to have a 2 or higher on this.
Okay, just for the one.
Or 2 successes and higher, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I'm good. Yeah, I got a 10 and an 8 and another 8. So.
Perfect. You do so as you go ahead and take your blood as it's like sizzles even within your presence, and you throw it onto the soldier as you catch them like some of their neck that's just bare, and you watch it just like completely melt away as they just kind of like collapse on the ground and fall over. And yeah, so after that is Hermes. You're there with the Baron. You see this gang that you are pretty sure where their political allegiance lies, and it's not with the Baron, but you're right there next to the Baron, and you're getting shot at by all these soldiers. Do you want to try to do a strength and athletics check to pull this stake out, or what is it that you like to do?
They're just like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. So,
Like, where is Ivana? As you go ahead and like you're trying to.
Yes. So funny. Okay, so you said strength athletics?
Correct. Yep.
All right, let's go. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Another one.
Another one. Okay. So you're panicking now as like, and it makes sense, you know, because like you were already dealing with like literal vampire hunters, some of which are pulling like finding the stake launchers and like actually reaching for them and loading them up now. And you also see the faceless ones, 20 strong, be right in with their leader Olivia at the head, as she has ordered everyone to kind of like, you know, second boys, as they just are launching themselves onto these soldiers and tearing them apart, and everything. So to respect your, or actually, we'll have someone shoot at you really quick. Just me, fair.
It's only fair.
Yeah. So that is 4 successes. So 4 against 1. So that's going to mean that you're going to take 1 point of aggravated as they go ahead and load you up with more like bullets, but then it's going to go ahead and like be so much in one attack that it turns to aggravated. So at this point, to respect your guys' time, we're going to move the story ahead a little bit and say that there's a battle that commences. You know, they open up the second convoy and they see Ivana's been like holding her own as they've been trying to shoot at her, stab at her, whatever, and she succeeds in this. But the other vampires rip out the soldiers, tear off their heads, and like beat the crap out of them and everything. And in this time, you guys are surrounded by the faceless ones as they all sort of are there with their leather jackets, and you see this woman that is like essentially 6'4", already looked like, you know, a unit before she became a vampire, but now she's extremely buff and all that kind of stuff. So Olivia Vera is here as all goes quiet and the tension is thick in the air as the Baron still has the stake in him, and the container is open so everyone can see the Baron there, and Olivia goes over to you guys and goes like, you guys fought hard. Like, I thought for sure you guys would call for backup and this was going to go a totally different way. But like, I have to admit that you guys are competent and capable. But we still are at an impasse here because obviously we all understand where your allegiance lies, as she gestures to the Baron in the coffin or the container. And she goes like, that's a problem for me because, I see the future for the Anarchs in a much stronger, more capable hands, which are my own. Now, I understand you all have ties and, you know, incentives to be with him and everything, but if you bend the knee and swear your allegiance to me, I promise you, you're going to keep your titles, keep your positions, and you're not going to be, you know, taken out at least anytime soon unless you choose to piss me off or anything like that. But if you choose to stand with your Baron, then we're going to have problems, as she kind of like is there. The members of her gang all look pretty strong. They're not all Bruja. And for the new players, Bruja are a clan of vampires that are very strong. They're very passionate and like, you know, raw emotion and everything like that. So they can throw hands for sure. Now, in the distance, you hear the sounds of sirens, meaning that there is an approaching, you know, sort of thing. And you hear one of them be like, we don't have a lot of time. We got to deal with this soon. Just kill him and everything. And but Olivia like silences her member to go like, you know, I'll give you this opportunity. Bend the knee and join me. And, you know, no one ever has to know you were here. No one ever has to know you've, you know, did what you did. Or stand by your Baron and die, essentially. What would you guys like to say or do? Now, you'll all have an opportunity to talk. So, Hermes first.
I have a question. How quick are we speaking when it comes to Olivia? Because if I could, I want to make just one more strength roll.
Go for it. Yeah, you can sacrifice your like. Well, if you want to do that, then we're gonna say that Ivana and Eva, you get your speaking portions first, and then the climax will be Hermes as they try to like pull out the thing. So Ivana, let's have you go first.
Oh,
if you want to say
like,
anything,
nose goes like not yet.
Yeah, nose goes. Yeah, if you want to do that, then Eva, you can go first.
Sorry.
Yeah, I am in year 2 of my 5-year debt with the Baron.
Correct. Yeah. So now, if you want to, or sorry, are you talking to her or are you talking to me?
Oh, to you.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. So you're in year 2 of your year 5 with the Baron. So if you want to, you can ask clarifications like, is that still going to be the thing, or can I get it completely removed, or you know, you can try to negotiate if you'd like to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would address that and see if there was any workaround for sort of like shared fealty at that point, and can I serve 2 masters at this point, basically? this debt. And it's like, if you spare me now, like then I will have a debt to you, but you take me on knowing, like I feel like a house in foreclosure. Like there's some baggage that comes with me.
Yes.
So
So, sure. So go ahead and do a composure, and we're gonna say maybe persuasion roll. So for you, that's gonna be 5 dice. You're gonna roll.
Oh.
5, 9, 8, 10, 4.
Okay, good. So with 3 successes, you say this. As you still have your blood magic that's like flowing and everything like that, just in case you need to use it. It's there. And you say this, sort of to her that like, yeah, I can join you, but we're gonna have to talk about my debt and like how is that all gonna work. And you see her kind of like pace, and she kind of smirks a little bit, and she goes, "It's always good to have a seer in your back pocket. Like I'm absolutely interested in having your services, Tremere, and Tremere's your clan as like blood sorcery." And he goes like, "So we absolutely can talk about like the terms of our agreement and everything. As now, whether she's genuine or not, you're not sure. If you'd like to, any of you can do a like wits and politics roll to figure out the history of her, or like investigation, insight, any other information you want to assess. This. She definitely has power, but you're not sure about if she's genuine and like honorable or anything like that. Ivana?
I had 2 successes on my wits and politics.
Okay, so you know that you haven't been here for a long time, but you definitely heard Olivia's name pop up more than one time, always arguing with the Baron, always going overboard when it came to missions, and to the point where she almost got kicked out of the Anarchs because, or at least his territory, because of her antics. And even though she is strong, it's mostly by like sheer force and intimidation, and it's more a fear than love with her when it comes to how she leads people. And you have heard that she has gone through second in commands like Candy in her own gang, because moment she gets a disagreement, she just tears their head off and like goes forward and all that kind of stuff. So now you did that information check, so you can still say something if you'd like to, or just hold your tongue and yeah.
Seeing Ava make the choice that she has. If the seer sees something, then I will follow. Ivana does not bend the knee, but I will drop my sledgehammer. And she'll just kind of let it clank onto the ground very loudly. I'd like a spot high up.
Sure. You say that, to her, and then she goes like, after what I saw you do in the back of that truck, I absolutely could use someone of your fortitude. Especially in my gang, as they kind of all like scoff at like Ventrue, because they're all like essentially Bruja, and they're all very like proud of them and themselves and everything. Mm-hmm. And Bruja and Ventrue are kind of like rival clans a little bit. So last but not least, Hermes, you were there standing in front of the container, and you're like dun, 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 as you
yeah.
I switched out dice.
Okay.
Oof. Okay, y'all. And they're looking right at Olivia while they do this, just like defying it's all hell. So yep. 5 successes.
Oh my god. Okay, good. Oh, so in this time, this final moment of like hardship and all that, you reach down and grab the stake in the Baron's chest and rip it out as you hear him gasp, and like he launches forward as the gang itself like freaks out, and they're like, "Oh shit," as the Baron like gets up, and she immediately is like, kill him, like go ahead and take him out, as she kind of orders it. And they immediately approach with their different weapons. They all have metal bats, and then and all that kind of stuff. As they like approach and everything, you hear the sounds of another sort of gang appear, and it's the Slicers, essentially, that lowly gang, along with a couple other gangs that have like approached. And essentially there's this battle that happens here that indicates a civil war is currently going on, but ultimately they are able to help enough for you guys to get the Baron out of there. And now the Anarchs are split and divided into factions, amongst themselves between who's pro Baron and who's pro Olivia. And but at least the Baron's alive and can speak and vouch for your guys' territory. And you've done the thing. As afterwards, you're like, I was just joking about what I was saying before. Like totally loyal to the Baron, and like, or you
Wasn't
can.
awake for that. I'm gonna. Like, I look at Ava like.
Yeah, like we don't have to tell. So the other thing, realistically, is that because you guys did so much, you can demand a boon from the Baron. Now, a boon is like a favor that they cannot deny, essentially. To be like, I risked my life for you, and I've done a lot of shit for you, so therefore I want something in return down the line, which you can absolutely demand if you'd like to. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
At that moment, Ivana, well, yeah, I'll like very headstrong, will approach the Baron completely pretending that whatever just happened was not real.
That's fine.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm imagining like the other, like this is post like the little encounter, right? Like we're in a space of safety now.
This is essentially the epilogue,
Right.
yeah. As you guys are,
Yeah.
we'll say this gang has a bunch of lowriders, and you're in one of the lowriders going down the street as with the Baron, yeah. So, yeah. So for your epilogue, what do you think you guys would do? Would you remain loyal to the Baron, or would you actually join Olivia if she can offer you a better deal? To be able to get time off your sentence, or whatever goodies. And we'll start one by one, starting with Hermes.
First of all, Hermes wouldn't ask for a boon. They're just happy to see Alvarez safe and sound again, and they're sticking with him.
Perfect. Loyal. That loyalty, unquestionable. And then Ivana.
That's kind of tough. Really liking the headstrong approach and wanting to change things up and have that fighting sense of to prove that you belong. I think Ivana will abandon the Baron.
Abandon. Okay. Perfect. and then Eva.
I didn't mean to like strike the balance this way of like loyal and dip, and like Eva would definitely want to go somewhere in between. And
why don't I do this? Why don't you I guess there's no point in having you roll because we're at the end of the game. But I'm going to allow you one more premonition. Now, as you seek into the distant future, you see that there is something worse coming. That is worse than the Special Affairs Division. That is worse than the Camarilla and worse than gangs of anarchs. Is like literal demons that actually come down from like some sort of cult that actually is erupting in Phoenix and everything. And you see that all of you guys are essentially taking wounds. You're taking damages. People are dying, and all hell's sort of breaking loose. And you see at this time now. Do you want to see what happens if you go with Olivia, or do you want to see what happens if you go with the Baron?
I'll see what Olivia has.
Sure. You see with Olivia, and you see her dead in the ground, essentially, as like her gang is all torn to pieces from fighting with the Camarilla and fighting with the demons and all that kind of stuff, and everything's gone haywire. And essentially, you are there, still alive thanks to your blood sorcery and all that kind of stuff. But you see that this territory, it's so destroyed to the point where she can't keep her people together, and they either turn on her or abandon her. But either way, she doesn't make it out, and you cannot tell when this time period is, whether it's like tomorrow or months from now or even years from now, but eventually she loses it all, essentially. And yeah, and you come back to, as you hear Ivana being like, I kind of want to go with Olivia. I think that might be a good choice. It's like, so you can choose to tell that information or just keep it at hand, as because you're the seer, you're the blood witch, so you work on your schedule and like whatever. Yeah.
So with that in mind, having a solid relationship with the Baron, who is awake and present, I am going to take his hand and just eyes. I will be joining Olivia now, but not later.
And
Hope that connects. Like this is I'm going to go here now just to save my
I will be your
hide.
double agent. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll be able to come back.
Sure. So you strike those bargains and those deals and all that sort of stuff as you process, like, where should I go from here now that I know there's a civil war within my faction within this sort of territory. And as you guys ride off and find the nearest safe house before the sun rises, as you see like this the orange sort of bloom of it kind of like rise and everything, and you guys have successfully been able to save the Baron and essentially cause a civil war, but it's for like a just cause because the Baron's still alive and should still be yeah. So you guys did it. You guys did a great job. Oh my gosh.
We did it.
Perfect.
We did it.
That's amazing.
Proud of you all.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, Harley wasn't here, and she has the Dragonfire rounds, and those are the ones that like kill vampires easily and all that stuff. And I was like, they don't need those, whatever. And then, so,
Yeah, we didn't forget the entire last encounter.
yeah, right. So, how did you guys like playing Vampire the Masquerade?
This is a really cool system. I am fascinated by the combination of actions and skills that gives you the way in which you can think about how you interact with this world. Absolutely fun.
Cool. And then Sarah?
I like it. Yeah, I like the die mechanics. And also just using the D10s is just nice and
Instead
easy.
of D20s, yeah. Very different. Nice. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go around the room and have everyone tell us who you are and where you can be found and what you have coming up next. And we're going to go ahead and start off with Ceremony.
So that's Sarah. That's SARA for everyone that's listening. Cosplay and a little bit of some other stuff in the creative and crafty fields. You can find me Ceremony Cosplay, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, but that one's on thin ice because I barely update it. So Eva might have more information on that. But,
yeah, there you go.
Sarah has very minimal because videos take too long. But it was great to game with you guys, and I hope I'll see you in a digital form soon.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And then Becca.
Yeah, so I'm Becca. You can also find me at Caustic Phoenix here on Twitch and on YouTube as well. And I'll be over streaming on Monday nights. Over on our stream, we talk a lot about RPGs, really silly things, and being goofy. That's really the best part of it. But if you love some D&D, you can also find me on D20 Deathmatch. D&D meets PvP and an epic showdown. And if you are wanting to catch a particularly good rerun, there's one D'Angelo was in that I highly recommend.
I play a centaur that flirts with everyone. It's great. It's like good stuff.
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Great for murdering.
Perfect. And then Vin.
Oh my gosh, hi. Again, guys, I'm Vin at VinVoxVA. If you think I was like a really cool vampire player, you think I should get like an award for it, vote for me in the Crit Awards where I'm nominated Best Vampire Player. That would be like super cool. And maybe vote for D'Angelo, maybe.
That's right. Yeah.
That would be like super cool. If you want to see the complete opposite of what I did tonight, I am playing a Samitsi Primogen in the 70s for Motor City Hollow Crown, which is going to be on Trooper SGP's Twitch on Tuesdays. Our prince just died, and now we have to elect someone amongst the party. So we got all of it.
Ooh, messy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so good. My name is D'Angelo Murillo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am a writer, a game designer, and I host a lot of charity events just to help the community as much as we can. Tonight we had a goal of 200, and we actually beat that goal by $115. Some of it was sent to my Ko-Fi, but the other one was sent to like here, and it's amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. We're going to go ahead really quick and raid someone. Let me see who's actually on to be able to send the good vibes out. And we're going to go ahead and send it over here really quick. And then there we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and raid Parallax Stella, and yeah, we'll see what they're happening there. And we hope you guys all have a wonderful night.
Perfect.
Thanks,
And
guys.
I believe we are out.
Sweet.
Yeah, perfect. Did you guys have fun?